Okay. Well,
Okay.
here we are.
Am I allowed to speak?
Well, I'll just say welcome to Riconius The Podcast. This is Podconius number 3. And today's episode, again, I have Jordan join as a co-host, but also
I'm Jordan.
Also as a guest alongside our other guest, Kirk, both of whom are from True Friends Gaming, which is the group. Yeah, Kirk's up.
I'm in the middle on my screen.
Oh, on the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, because you have yourself.
You messed it up. You said my name. I thought you were going to let me introduce myself, and I was going to say I'm Jerry, infamous Infernate. You ruined it.
Well,
you actually ruined it.
I'm sorry.
So why were you laughing when we were getting into this? You just kept looking at us, and you just kept laughing.
So I was
you're like freaking us out.
Yeah, was it the faces I was making when I was eating my steak?
A little bit of that, but also I was just like thinking of like, I'll let him finish before we're doing anything.
I wasn't sure what you were doing, so then when you started counting down, I just started trying to shovel it in.
My bad.
At one point, you went full like pig trough, like you just laid down, and I saw you going, and then you got up and your plate was empty.
No. There's still a lot of food on the plate, but priorities.
But yeah, so a little bit of housekeeping. This is a live show right now doing the podcast, so if you put an exclamation mark podcast, it'll let you know that we won't be super interactive with the chat, but if there's something said that's like, a response to what we're talking about or whatever, and that warrants an interaction, we will interact.
Wait, so I'm allowed to ignore the viewers?
Yeah, essentially. But yeah, so this is a special new episode, True Friends Gaming, because all three of us are a part of True Friends Gaming. We play video games together and do stuff together, and but also this episode once again brought to you by the SlightlyFoxtail Store. Go to store.slightlyfoxtail.com and get yourself some Slightly Foxtail merch. I did design them, and whoa, dude, is that exclusive TFG merch that no one can buy?
Yep, this is my mankini.
Nice. Wait, what?
That's what I told Foxtail in the first episode. I held it up and I said it was my mankini.
Wait, I actually didn't know she sponsored the podcast. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, yeah, I talked to her and we're like, I was like, hey, would I be able to like kind of have this like the merchant store and stuff like as like a sponsor, but also I mean it's promoting because it's also work that I've done, so it's kind of like a win-win. There isn't one.
What's the word that they use to get artists to do stuff?
Commission?
There's a word for that. Commission. Yeah, there's it. Go commission Riconius' art. It's the same thing as a store.
I think the word you're thinking of was exposure, but yeah.
No.
I think the thing you're thinking of was take advantage of and never. No, I'm kidding.
That's what I said, exposure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we give you exposure, Ricardo.
No. Yeah, no. TFG. I think there's been more than just exposure that's I've benefited from doing stuff.
I edit the highlights for this.
Like
got friendship.
Yeah,
Ricardo.
Friendship is definitely at the
top
long
of the
time
list. Ago. I made a Podconius theme that or a Ricardo theme that he never used.
I exposed myself to you in the name of friendship. That's what it's like to be an artist, right?
So Ricardo, what are we doing on today's stream?
The way you worded that
was the worst thing ever, right? Yeah, that was the point.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. The last two episodes, the first kind of not segment, but like the first part or first half or whatever. I'm just gonna go through a few questions, like just to get to know, like for people who don't know who or what True Friends Gaming is. Let's go with that. Like what? How about this? Before even getting to, this will probably go into like how it started, but what made you want to start? Like even because with how True Friends Gaming came about, but what made you even want to start doing whatever led to the formation?
Start streaming, start making content, start talking to what made us want to do it? Probably the same thing that leads to a lot of content in this world: extreme loneliness. Just feeling isolated from everyone growing up, just because I didn't know many people. No.
This isn't a bit. Just so Ricardo knows, this isn't a bit.
I'm being straightly serious right now. Like it's True Friends Gaming was just made out of friendship, just meeting other people who enjoy the same things we do, and just we enjoy being around each other, and we just like making content with each other because it's fun, you know. It's not, you know, it's a lot. I feel like more accepted than it used to be to kind of be into these kind of things.
Yeah.
So
Right.
back in the day, it was kind of like a sanctuary.
It was
To
definitely a lot more niche when we streamed.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
It's obviously I'm not going to go into details, but yeah, I think a lot of depressions and stuff like that definitely were big parts of a lot of it for a lot of us. And we just go to, you know, we all had like people that were mutual friends because like you joined ingame.tv was the name of the website we all met on. Don't mind the lightning bolts going on in Kirk's
Okay,
room.
you saw that, right?
Yeah, the flickering of the camera. Yeah.
That's not good. What the heck?
So anyway, Kirk was CJ, the content creator that you.
Yep. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
So there was Canadian Jutsu, Winslet 13, whatever name he's going by now. Kirk followed through him. I actually followed through Zero Master, who was one of his friends.
Okay.
Who I actually like. I knew him for his Let's Plays. I actually didn't know any of their abridged stuff. But
Which is funny because I only knew him through the abridged stuff.
Yeah, and I think James came in through like Mech, and the rest of TFG minus Ricardo actually, like all of the members of True Friends Gaming, the rest of them came through with for CJ. And we were all on there, kind of like the same, like-minded. You know, the first two people to kind of meet that started the channel were Kevin and I. And because every day during like CJ's streams, Kevin would ask me questions about airsoft guns and stuff because I airsoft, and he's like, well, okay, how do I get into it? What gun should I buy? What's the pressure? You know, all these weird questions about airsofting and things. Right. And I answered him. And then one day Kevin was streaming. He wanted to try. So I was like, are you going to talk? He's like, I don't want to. It's weird. I was like, I get the thing called Skype. If you want to download it, we can talk to each other. And we can Skype. Play. Yeah, it was 2011, and people had it, but it was beta. It wasn't owned by Microsoft yet.
Yeah,
and I was like,
it was in the before times, you know.
And I was like, hey, we could,
but before Discord,
we could talk to each other in there, and then it won't be as weird. And it was Chrono Trigger. So we went and we talked, and then Matt was at that stream. Someone in Mega was at that stream. Just a bunch of other people we know, and then 2 days later was the first time Kirk joined on the 24th of June 2011.
I don't know how he remembers these things. I don't.
That's insane.
Anyway, so Kirk jumped in and wanted to was like, oh, hey, you guys are from CJ's. Can I join? We're like, yes. So we pretty much always, like, we had tons of people that would join the Skype calls, and just all the time we had constant supply of people. And eventually we had our favorites, which were True Friends Gaming. And then we had the ones that weren't our favorites, were the Alliance of Acquaintances, which are another good group of friends of ours.
We did probably the most, like nowadays, if you were to try to do this, you're just creating yourself up to fail, essentially. We would literally mod and add every viewer who came into our chat, essentially, into our Skype calls, just modded them on our channels, essentially. It was like, it got pretty out of hand, and
I bet
it was pretty funny. Actually,
especially when everyone is a mod, then it's like what.
Oh, and there were problems that did come from that.
Oh yeah,
but it was one of those things, though, that because this goes back into the initial question of why we started doing it. We've made a bunch of stupid friends that way because people just keep going and be like, oh yeah, these are the guys that will let us join their call and play games with them. Like, because at the time, streaming wasn't very well known. Like, Twitch didn't exist yet. There was Justin TV, but it wasn't for gaming.
So I remember that. Yeah, Justin TV.
Yeah, so like live streaming video games, because you had to put it through like 3 different converters just to make it work. We got lucky that because then the XSplit was coming out and they were doing an alpha for it, and that was free. So we were like, oh, cool, we'll use this, and now we can stream with one program. And then they're like,
Flash Media Live Encoder.
God, that was the worst. That was the absolute worst.
I started live streaming on an old MacBook. Was how I first started streaming.
Whoa!
Which back in the day, and a janky graphics card.
Meant you had 3 games you could play.
And I had like 3 games I could play on my Mac, and I like modded the hell out of Terraria to get it to work on my Mac, just so I could stream that with my friends too. And we had like TF2. Like there wasn't many PC games.
So TF2 was the
Yeah, that was the go-to, sense. Honestly. Yeah. But it was more so like a lot of emulation streams.
That was what a lot of us had to do back then. Yeah. It was hard to,
Yeah, the capture card like wasn't an ideal situation. It was still really janky. It was, just watching really like bad YouTube tutorials on how to get, Soundflower. And I guarantee you, no one will remember this program but me. It's essentially the I
only remember things like Fraps or whatever it's called. And
Fraps was good. Fraps was the old recording software. Yeah. The problem is that one cost money, so we used. Cost money,
yeah. Oh yeah, no, I
was watermark, Mac, so I was already on a disadvantage. So.
Yeah, that was the thing. We want watermarks. So what we ended up having was like 240p, 1,000 clicking sounds, and everything.
Remember Manicam, Jordan?
I absolutely.
Oh, Manicam. Yeah, that's of course. There were like so many things. I remember that back then. Like almost every video that someone would have of a recording of like gameplay or something would have the Manicam watermark on it.
And
I always be like,
the thing is, we found out how to not have the watermark.
I forgot how we even did that.
Yeah, because it was like we set it as
unregistered hypercam too.
That was the thing that everybody had a watermark with.
It was Manicam, yeah.
No, the unregistered hypercam too.
Oh, the unregistered hypercam too.
I know we don't really acknowledge the chat, but another True Friends member is in the chat, so I figured I'd.
So he gets priority.
Yeah.
No, it was hard back then. Like obviously the barrier to entry was it was harder to do, but at the same time, it was all shit, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like everyone was essentially on the same playing field because none of it was good. There were some people, like I'll do a quick shout out to Nerd Junkies, who actually had like good production quality back in the day, like better than I've seen anywhere else.
Those guys started back up again.
And they did start back up again, and their production quality is still awesome.
We mentioned him earlier. I hate mentioning him because it feels like that. But FF Radio, he had like a great setup for everything. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years back. But he was one of the people, and he had 24/7 like nonstop streams. He was like he might have been the first person to do nonstop
24-hour streams,
streaming through like a gaming platform. And he just set up Final Fantasy music, and he made a whole radio, like a DJ station. Whoa. And he just had it play, so you could just go there and listen to Final Fantasy music.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Wow.
We also did probably one of the early people to do live viewing in a way. Or like watch parties and stuff.
Also reactions.
Sure, yeah.
We
taking
got
claim
in
to everything.
Well, no, we got in trouble by other viewers, not mods, but by viewers. We'd sit around and watch NBC's To Catch a Predator on our stream. Which is why we had this ongoing joke of always read the terms and conditions, because this guy got really mad. He's like, "What are you doing? You're going to get the site taken down. Read the terms and conditions. Stop." So he went and called the mods, one of which is like the moderator of the whole site. And he joined. He's like, "Oh, hey," he knows this because we streamed like we had our group of friends that would just cycle out. So we streamed like 40, 50 hour like in a row. We would just stream. So they just joined, like, "Oh, what's up?" I'm like, "Oh, do you need us to turn this off?" We can. And he's like, "You guys were cool about it. You can watch one more episode." And the guy freaked out even more.
That's amazing. Wow.
The owner of the website's like, "Go ahead." Shout out to John, by the way, because we're still friends with him.
Yeah, we got away with murder back in the day, but it was such a niche. It's like any like appeal to like a niche underground community, because that's what it felt like. There wasn't that many streamers on the platform. It was easy to like top the leaderboards because it was pretty bare bones.
That's the thing that's the weirdest, because people that see us now, they see our stuff is like over 10 years old, and we get like a viewer if we're lucky.
Yeah.
But back then we actually had a lot. We were on the top pages of that website.
You were the top dogs. You were the guys on the list of the people like that was leaked, of like the people who earned most.
Yeah.
You guys were on the top.
But there's no earning back in the day.
No, of course not.
There's no way you really get money. We didn't like get sponsors.
So what was I guess, was there like a moment or like the series of moments, like step by step, like what was the actual like start of TFG back then? Because I know like you touched on like the things surrounding it, but.
So like I said, I joined through Zero, and the main reason I knew Zero, he was the first person I ever watched do Let's Play video. Like I knew about him, but I actually watched, he did I think it was Mega Man something. And I watched him play it. I was like, that was cool. And it was kind of like what we were doing. And we continued to stream like we always did, but kind of like I do with our VODs, how I save everything. I was like, I want to be able to see these forever. I want this archived. So because we had fun, we were friends, we were hanging out and stuff, and I was like, we sat down one day, the three of us, Kevin, Kirk, and I, which were the three. We were True Friends Gaming.
Green, blue, and red, or red.
Yes,
blue,
correct.
Red, RGB. Yeah.
And I was like, we need to make a YouTube channel so that we can start making Let's Plays. We can like we can do this stuff and put it on there. And so we sat down and we're like, all right, well, what are we going to call it? And I was like, well, everything's built around friends, so I want something like that. And Kevin's just like, what about True Friends Gaming? And I was like, that's the name.
Yeah, that's
like that was it.
None of us are like super creative, so other than Jordan, I guess.
Everything. I'm an editor. I'm a musician. I'm a writer. Anyway,
but how good are your names though?
You've seen the Trivirum Chronicles of Dremerin. My names are amazing. I name like all of your D&D characters.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Kriegel Malvalmstein.
Yeah, that too. I do have Jordan name all of my. All right, you know what? Fair point. I didn't think about that.
Anyway,
I wasn't creative.
The
Zach
thing
and
is
Cody,
though,
Zach and Cody, Zach and Cody, and the others.
That's Alex.
Alex.
Alex has his own realm of creativity.
That's like
Alex is the one that named the Alliance of Acquaintances.
When you think of like lore history for like, I don't know, like people's channels and stuff, like Alex is like the lore you start talking about and no one would believe it unless you
Alex is the lore that's like he's the mythos that exists within our story.
Like that story about the McDonald's thing or whatever. He was like in a drive-thru or something.
Oh, yeah. We were doing the Kingdom Hearts streams of Birth by Sleep. Remember we were sitting there and we all had to be quiet during the cutscenes? Oh, like we're like the cutscenes playing, and it's like, you know, big like Aqua and Vin are like reuniting and stuff, and also you just hear, "Welcome to McDonald's, may I take your order?" And then Alex is, yeah, like
I forgot all about that. That's the great thing about having an awful memory. You get to relive everything over and over and over again, like you just heard it. That's great. Like it's like that.
Because we all had to be quiet, and I just remember Kirk just freaking losing, like, "Alex, shut up! We're still watching him cutscene." And he's like, yeah, I'd like,
yeah, Big Mac or whatever it was."
He didn't eat red meat, but yeah, he had to get like fries and stuff.
Dude,
but we still never.
Trip.
What were we still saying with the? Oh yeah, so we decided True Friends Gaming was the name, because there's the next important part of then Kirk, because I said we should make it. Kevin got to name it, so of course you gave Kirk the liberty of making the account. So somewhere out there's an account called True Friends Gaming, spelled GAMEING.
Oh no! Oh man!
All right, listen.
And they were like, "Kirk, we can't use that. Make another one." And then he made the actual True Friends Gaming account.
And that was the origins of the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would have been July of 2012.
I have it up right here on the screen.
I do know.
Yeah, you can click the about section and it'll also tell you it was just July of 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, our first video
July
was
14th, 2011, not even 2012.
Oh, yeah, 2011, sorry.
Wow.
2012 was when we started Twitch, which was February 14th, which was the same day but a different month. February 14th.
Oh, Twitch. Oh, whoop. Gotta mute that. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, like
the quality's great, right?
Just how
yeah, God. We still upload.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we still haven't stopped. Like, I mean,
I can see which videos he hasn't watched. Look at this. He stopped in the middle of Halo.
Oh,
he hasn't watched the spin stuff.
No.
Wait,
This is from no. This is not stopping in the middle of it.
Wow.
This is from having, like, I think it was like my second or third watch through of it that I didn't finish.
Sure.
Because I was gonna say,
I'm
it's
not kidding.
To watch us.
He
meeting
stopped
in real
halfway into you meeting him.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Okay. Anyway, my point is, this is the channel. This is where
jokes
you can.
Aside, though, like honestly, when I looked at the thumbnail for that video, I genuinely thought Jordan did the thing he did, where he just like doubles you up on a thumbnail. I literally did think that because I looked at it fast on my phone.
Ricardo
I love the
had this
preview right there.
conversation
That preview GIF. It's me and my brother. You could distinctly tell that. Oh, it's a different person.
Yeah, you can see how beautiful Sergio is when he throws his hair down and looks like Jason Momoa.
You guys aren't twins, right?
No, he's 3.5 years older than me.
Sergio's older than me.
Yeah.
Oh, he's ancient.
No.
Yeah.
You have such good green screen pictures of Ricardo.
That's because of that time I went to Vegas and
I need to make more for you because we could do
or you can have all the weird Halo stuff that I just cut all of our faces out and then like you get mad at me for not saving them.
Oh god, that was when I had my long hair.
But even like looking back, like seeing just like how many, even this like now like since having like the most recent like branding with like the thumbnails, like looking back and seeing like already how many videos there have been with that, with like the frame and everything.
That's when
That's
I
crazy.
crush my nipple with the computer. We've just
yeah.
I do still love those. This is still my favorite iterations of assets.
This is the format. Which, by the way, all of the, I mean, I can't say the visual art because a lot of that, like the Among Us characters, they were all drawn by Shar. But the outlines, like the logo section, and all of the branding were all made by Ricardo. What is it?
The glass breaking VR fail.
135 views on that. Jeez.
So many people have seen that.
Monster Seeking Monster actually didn't do too bad.
Oh yeah,
dude, a lot of those were fun. I went back and rewatched some of those yesterday too.
I still, my favorite one is when we accidentally took if you scroll up a little bit, I know I'm on a delay, the Among Us one. When we played Trader Among Us, push the button jack, like we accidentally caught views because we accidentally put Among Us in the title completely by happenstance.
Oh right, I know what you're talking about. Where was
yeah, you passed it. It was there's a
It looks like it there as I see it's the vehicle.
Yeah.
It's by
this one right here. Oh my goodness, yeah, just because you put Among Us in there. That's funny.
It wasn't like a plan. That just Among Us got big like right after that. So then everybody started looking it up and they just found that they're like, cool.
Man. But look, just looking at like, and there's so much more still like way down. You just keep going. It just keeps loading up. And
it just keeps going.
Oh my goodness. Look at this. This is
older
like
assets.
Yeah, just thinking like how many years worth
all
of
these drawings were made by
I do want a medal for having a YouTube channel for like 10 years and we have more videos than subs. Like I feel like Twitch should like honor us for that. Like we should get a plaque
YouTube,
somewhere.
Well,
both.
YouTube.
On YouTube.
But I mean, you're right though. That is one of those things that a lot of people get. Jesus Christ! Because if you actually look at how much, like, think of how many hours I've probably put into editing.
Oh yeah, I can't.
I know, and but like you just look at all of this, and then
because I go through and
think about the amount of times I've had to think about Jordan.
I forgot drawing this. Like,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, just the history. Like TFG has history. If I don't know the Shack attack.
I was about the Shack.
TFG has such like there's a lot of history. 10 years worth already.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh man, the Cthulhu.
Oh yeah, Cthulhu.
See, that's the other weird stuff is I see these pictures and I immediately, and that's why I wanted the YouTube channel is because nobody's gonna watch our stuff. They don't care, but I get to go back and I get to see this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it matters. I guess you guys already see. I pretty much have it all memorized anyway.
But it's fun sometimes.
Everyone's John picture is absolutely horrifying to this day.
Oh right. All
that
the Johns
still actually haunts my nightmares.
Just everyone is Johns.
But
what about the worms picture? Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, I mean it's fun, like because there'll be nights where it's like, you know what, I want to watch something like as I'm like trying to fall asleep or something to like just have a nice little end to like the day or whatever, and I'll be like, you know what, I'll scroll all the way through. I'll spend minutes scrolling and then find an older
to
like,
find
TFG
one
video.
good video from TFG.
No, for real, to find one video and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll watch that. Like,
there's our extremely brief stint of streaming on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, if there's a live stream option, I think that can go over to the live streams, which there's a lot more of those. But if we're getting close to the parts before Ricardo joined, because we're everyone's saying that this was year 4, so not year 4, but 4 years ago, and that was whenever I was uploading 2 videos a day.
Dude,
that's so crazy still to me. Like you were still doing things before they got popular.
We've
done that a lot.
That's the thing too. Yeah. Like this is crazy that like even now, like that I've been a part of TFG for this is 5 years ago already.
Yeah, I know.
What? That doesn't feel like that.
We're almost to your first video. Which do you remember what it was? Do you remember your first video was, Ricardo?
Oh, absolutely! I will never forget. It was the masterpiece.
He's
video
looking
game.
for it to hope he gets to see it before he.
No. I know that it's Fishing Planet.
The old Dramarian Tales. Oh, the Mighty Number 4 stream.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Oh, E3 with Ricardo.
Oh my when
God.
I went to E3. the 1 year.
That whole event was great though. Like that was a thing because that was like whenever you had to have a pass and we had like TFG's got a specialty pass.
I will say that's something I'm always jealous of, both of your abilities to actually be able to do stuff like that in public, because I still have no I just don't have the mentality for it.
I mean, I just walked around and I had my friend just carry the camera sometimes.
The second there's like a camera.
Remember when we made happy birthday videos for people?
There's where Kyle did his unboxings.
That's right, when he did like Loot Crate for a minute and then the other stuff. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, I remember these. Yeah, holidays. Yeah,
my interviews with everybody.
2016 Kingdom Hearts, like hyped.
Oh, this
stuff back in the day.
Okay, this means I don't know. This always meant a lot to me. Like the Halo Reach when we played the multiplayer.
That was when you started bonding with Matt.
Well, because it was just like to finally play.
Dude, the Worms one to this day is probably still the most cursed image on our YouTube. It is to this day. What's worse is we have a human version somewhere. Yeah, it's just like
we do.
I had to Photoshop it with like an actual image.
We also have Vivian up there. Sorry.
Oh wait, yeah.
Where it's Ricardo's.
Like obsessed with her.
You have her name written on your chest, like holding you back
for life.
But your art like has gotten better, but still, like even your earlier stuff it was always so impressive to me.
Oh yeah, Ricardo's always been a talented artist.
It brought such a different life to our channel.
I see a podcast with Ricardo, Kevin, and me down at the bottom.
I was about to say I'm gonna have my weird flex moment to hear how much weight I lost, because that was when I was extremely heavy.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
God, but I looked so good back then. What happened to me?
Oh, you're fine. Shut up.
But the
middle mouse click that and have it open real quick, or Ricardo, if you can. If you can make it play on the stream, I want to see how we all looked, even if you mute it.
Oh my. Okay.
Do you remember what else we recorded that same day?
Wait. That was that loud. Hold up. That loud like intro thing. The.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know, Kirk. You were big. That's what I told you. You've lost so much weight.
Oh, that's hard to look at.
Whoa, dude.
Oh my god, my neck is like contorted.
Yeah, you have a neck?
Oh man.
What do you mean?
No, I mean your neck is very long in this. Man, why does it look so long?
That was back when I was a brachiosaur.
2015.
2015, wow. Yeah. I didn't start losing weight until 2016, so that would have been probably when I was around like 370, 380.
Wow.
It's my old bedroom.
The thing with, mainly my neck, this was back when I was in a completely different room.
Guys, this is Skype.
Yeah, that is Skype.
I genuinely look like a completely different person. That is...
Yeah, I know.
That's very eerie.
You do.
Wow.
I also look like a completely different person. Jump ahead a little bit, like closer to the end of it. I want to like the last. What did I have to edit there? Because I had something pop up when Kirk pointed.
You picked such a good moment. Wow.
There it is. The eyebrows.
But yeah, he's still got those.
I'm glad I didn't lose my eyebrows.
Yeah, look how different Kirk was. Like, look at him.
Why was this here? Wait, hold on. Why?
I saw Ricardo.
Why?
What? So what? The video that never
that was Alex's hands holding the Metal Gear case.
I think. Oh wow, that's great. That's still so crazy.
Why?
The reason why this was, we're probably talking about adding a new artist to our channel, because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, the reason why. Yeah, I'm like pointing like you guys can see me on screen right now. Oh my god, I'm so fat.
Oh, I've got a secondary backup that does see us, just in case.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm funny.
Okay, I'm pausing.
I just want to I'm pretty sure the reason that was made was because we hadn't seen Kevin in a while, and he's been gone for a lot of these changes that we made to the channel, like adding you to it. So we're just kind of like doing we do the same thing any successful YouTube channel does. We do update videos.
There is a second half to that video that never came out. Do you remember why, Kirk?
It's our 1 millionth YouTube.
It's our
subscriber YouTube video.
Yeah, because we made the joke because we had like like 500 or something. Then we're like, this
Mhm.
is it. Once we get 1 million or subscribers, part 2 comes out.
And it's just more of that. And I forget what. I think we just had words for ourselves of what I don't remember. It was funny. It was ridiculous because that was probably like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're all fucking out of it.
I love that. By the way, this is the TFG podcast. Is us just being nostalgic and going through.
I mean, that's
But
pretty
honestly-
much I mean, that's that's a fun thing to do.
Yeah,
So
it's fun to do this.
So that's why. So the reason why the Halo Reach like multiplayers mean a lot is because I never really had been able to really do like a custom online Halo game with people, and then I was able to do it with you guys, and then like even like actually finally like talking to Matt but legitimately like for the first time, and then
It's a lot of fun.
And just like the experience of like, whoa, I'm playing Halo online with friends, like something that I've always wanted to do when I was younger, but never had like online for an Xbox to do that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then just continuing to scroll. Wow.
I love seeing like we have so many videos that were designed. Oh yeah, me and Matt trying to high five as assassins, but his hidden blade stabs through my hand. Oh, there's Ricardo's first video.
There it is.
And we also have Solus.
There's Solus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was Jordan's stint at writing a very serious.
By the way, six years ago, Ricardo.
That's insane. 6 years ago, and then even this like the scene where I started doing like the thumbnails with like The Sims 3. But like even
what
trying
was
to
that
do
VD art vid MWV. What was that one?
That was one of our crap post videos.
Oh no.
It was to prove to Elick that Tyler was an animator. We have so many things on our channel. We'll go ahead and just let it play. Yeah, it's fine because there's no sound. But it actually explains it itself because it's a narrative.
Okay.
This is us reacting to a
shit post video. It's still doing stuff.
It moved.
I had to write at the top it moved because people couldn't read what Tyler wrote.
Animations.
I think what was the argument that
so he was
Lick
telling
didn't do animation?
Elick didn't like animate because he said it was a lot of work, and then
nice.
And so then Tyler said it's simple, anybody can animate, and Elick told him he can't animate, so Tyler proved to him he could animate.
Wow.
Which ended up being him making pictures, and then told me to put it into a video, and then so I had like the slow censor bar and all that stupid crap, just because that was. There's so many videos we have, like even the achievement things right there with Matt and me. Mm-hmm. The reason that exists is to make fun of our friend Peace opening a bag of Chivos, and that's because he just kept calling it Chivos instead of achievements.
Oh, so I remember. You know what? Yeah, and I remember making this Battlefront from like the beta, like in the background in like the Star Wars alphabet. Like I actually had a hidden message and stuff. Like
that. Yeah. And the.
Sorry,
I remember at the time that was like my favorite thumbnail you made. I was like, "Whoa, I'm Darth Vader and Matt's there. It's cool."
Oh man,
if we go down, we can actually see the video that I first made for Ricardo that eventually got him to join. Remember that one?
It was either this one or one of these. I know it was an achievement.
The Town of Salem stream.
It was
it's not these yet. We got to keep going down.
Oh, what? It was to show
further down. Oh, do you see it already? I don't see it on my screen. If so.
Oh, I thought it was already one of those, like where like you showed how to get the scarab gun, and then
Oh, is that on there?
I
no, we haven't. No, that wasn't it. It's further down.
Does it not have like a thumbnail, or like it's just
no, because you weren't in the group yet.
SWAT on terminal. No, this is too far. I think. Wait,
I don't think it is.
Jesus Christ, Sims 4 came out 6 years ago.
No, we played Sims 4 6 years ago. It probably came out like 8 years ago.
No, I pre-ordered Sims 4. I was really hyped.
Yeah, I just feel like we did a lot more in Sims 3 still.
Oh yeah, definitely, because it was the far superior game. Shovel Knight, Kirk trying.
I think this is too far.
Phone call while we're recording. Kirk and his dad on the phone. Sims 4 was in 2014. Wow.
We have so many.
Yeah, I think that was too far. I think it was like. One of these up here.
We've just been like this just shows how long we've been around for. It's always such a memory trip to go down when we just look at our old content.
Oh yeah, it was this one right here.
Here's Halo.
Halo 2, Metropolis, Scarab Gun, and achievement walkthrough.
So wait, why was this the first one that?
This is the video that Jordan had made. Like
Ricardo specifically told me he wanted to get this stuff. If he had the volume on, you'd actually hear me explaining that Ricardo wanted to get the Scarab Gun. So I was like, all right, I'll make a video. So I just recorded the video of how to get it, and because I was there, I got all the other like find the soccer ball and everything else. This was one of the only videos I actually used like a speed up feature because I wanted people to see the map to kind of give the idea of what you need to do. Because you have to make sure you time it perfectly with this Banshee.
Oh, yeah. This is another charm that I feel like video games nowadays just lost. Just like the really niche, cool.
Like kind of manipulating manipulating like the game's just like mechanics or something to do fun stuff.
There's not many things like this anymore that you get to just enjoy.
And it is so hard to like get it right.
Hard to execute things that how do you even figure this shit out? Like how do you find this out unless you know?
You F about all the time in Halo and have no friends. Yeah. And well, you do. All your friends play Halo. That's it.
Because when a game like this comes, there's two parts to this charm. There's one that they don't make games like this anymore, and two, this was probably still before the internet was really widespread when Halo 2 originally came out.
2004.
So I mean, you can argue that, sure, but it's just like there wasn't easy.
It wasn't like YouTube wasn't going to come out for another year.
Yeah. Really, so there wasn't easy ways for you guys. Like it was Game Facts back in the day.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe some like underground niche
or Game Winners. That's what I use.
I know if you want to cheat, you like Cheat CC or Cheat God or so yeah, this was one of those things we have to wait for the loading screen. You have to get him in this thing and wait for the loading screen. And I think I actually show like if you don't get it in time, the Banshee just vanishes. So you have to actually get it on the loading screen.
Yeah, it just vanished, and then you're doing the last checkpoint.
And then. So you have to do it while it says loading. You have to hijack it, and then you fly away to get all the hidden items and goodies.
I just miss stuff like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just, when you did figure it out, or even if you didn't know about it and like someone else told you it was like an underground thing, yada yada yada, you just felt so the level of satisfaction for completing this kind of stuff, even if it wasn't for an achievement back in the day. It's just awesome.
Can we talk about how good this looks, by the way, for 2004?
Isn't this a remastered version, or is this the old?
No, this is the old graphics.
This is classic Halo 2.
Yeah, he didn't have the new graphics on.
Yeah, it looks okay.
Oh, there's the ball. There it goes.
There it is in the new graphics, and then there's the old graphics again.
I like how you did that.
Yeah.
Wow, it's still, and they just did such a good job remastering it too, because God, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it looks good now, but it looks beautiful in the newer graphics.
Especially the cutscenes, I think.
Oh God, yeah, by Blur Studio. I mean, I'm now watching. I'm like, oh, dude, because I know I'm about to get the Scarab Gun. It's right there, and now I'm like excited to see the most insane, unfair weapon in the game. Kirk, you ever see this before? If not, you'll enjoy this one.
Probably.
I don't remember. I know I'd eventually use it on something, but I know after this I just show where the skull is, and then because weirdly enough, I watched this video like 2 months ago. I just rewatched it and I was like, well, it's rare because I don't actually really watch TFG content that much, but I just went back to like, you know what, I'm gonna watch this.
Yeah. You mean you don't watch TFG content? You make all the content. You watch it when you make it.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I don't watch it on YouTube. I just.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. That's true.
No, I get it. Listen, you're sitting there editing, rewatching scenes over and over and over and over again. Like the last time, like when it actually hits the channel, you'll maybe turn it on to like make sure nothing crapped itself on the upload. But other than that, you're done with it. Like you don't want to look at it anymore.
Much. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then like 10 years down the line, I will go back and watch something like that's kind of funny.
Speaking of old YouTube, just like remembering have to just publish on shitty internet. Publishing videos, like literal hours, and then if you fucked up and missed something, you have to do it again. Or if it just botches and fails, you have to do it again.
Yeah. Well, that was going back to the video encoders we were talking about. You remember we'd have to like we'd record in God, want to go way back. So we would record in Audacity our audio, Then we would record our video using XSplit, which didn't do it like an MP4 or basically anything that Windows or anything could recognize. So then we had to put it through a live encoder, which would then take the footage and turn it into a file type we could edit.
Jesus
then we would
Christ,
have. Yeah, it's awesome.
Sorry, I'm looking up again.
Yeah. I'm just blowing everything away. It's amazing.
And then for me, essentially, I was on a Mac, so there was a point where I did the video editing, and I had to convert people's footage into files that iMovie, my lovely iMovie, could manage and handle.
God, remember that? So we would do the Left 4 Dead stuff, and I would edit all the audio, and I'd send it to Kirk, and then I'd sit there in a Skype call with him, and he would share his screen, quote unquote, and then we would use that, and I would basically just kind of I'd be there and make sure everything was flowing right, and kind of like ideas. Then we found out how to do multi-screen, so we could have like Kevin and Kirk footage. Like, and it was just trying to get all of that stuff to actually work. But then after that, then I of course started editing, and then at that time I was using Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah, I think that was when I when I started going to college. I really didn't have the time as I used to like really focus on video editing, because I remember there was a lot.
I was still in college while we did that.
Some of us have better time management skills.
The very first drawing I did.
That's a drawing Ricardo drew for me, and I was like, "There you go,
man."
Payment for making a video for you.
Yeah, some people are like, I give exposure. I make an entire tutorial video.
I go the extra mile. Make sure you know how to get that scarab gun.
And I'm like, hey, everybody, that was for my friend Ricardo, and who drew this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just another aspect of why we always talk about True Friends Gaming. It's all about friendship. Like literally something like that is just about friendship.
That is at the core, no matter what. That is literally the name of the...
That is our lovely trip down memory lane. Can you just keep flying? Can you keep flipping between the fat Kirk and slightly less fat Kirk?
Just to...
Dude,
you should Photoshop. Crazy. You should Photoshop like a tweet. Or Photoshop for a tweet and just tweet
like side by side?
The side by side, yeah.
I did. I tweeted out the side by side of the
that's right, you did.
Oh, did you actually?
Well, I posted that and said, Kirk's going to hate me for posting this, but I
you know what? I just remembered I haven't opened up Twitter a month, so it uninstalled from my phone. That's why I never got the notification.
But I posted on there, I was like, Kirk's going to be mad at me for uploading this, but I was proud of him, so I just posted that.
Oh, that's funny. No, I'm fine with it.
We're proud of you, Kirk. I'm proud of you.
Oh, absolutely. I don't.
You don't even look like... I'm looking at you right now. You don't even look like that video. What the heck?
No, I don't.
I'm so used to Kirk looking a different way. I'm still not used to this Kirk.
It's so fascinating. Because even... I think it's funny because even like... I'd say... I mean, obviously, from when I've drawn the members of TFG, it's like my perception of how I think they look, it like kind of is reflected in that. And how even like... It's funny, but then like it still was never like really what they look like, but it still was like
kind of like our personas in a way.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those weird things. There's not really a nicer way to say it, but I know like in terms of Kirk's body size, you like the drawings a lot. You were more lenient.
Oh, hell
yeah. That makes sense. Like because you could have made his.
That's why seeing that pot. That's what I was gonna say. Is like that's why when I saw that video. Even then, I'm like, that's not Kirk. What? Because that wasn't what I remembered him looking like.
His face was like wide. Yeah. Like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It literally looked like I know I've always had the hair issues here, but like it literally looked like my skin was split and my hair was divided on my face. Like that was insane.
That's funny, man.
Don't eat 12 tacos a day, boys. It doesn't end well.
It was bragging right, and I was like, dude, you can't do that.
Man.
And I did. Don't let your dreams be memes, kids. You can, if you believe in yourself enough, you can do anything. You can be as big as you want.
you can daily eat a dozen tacos.
Man, that's crazy. But
I don't miss it.
So here's an interesting question, because I was gonna say, because one of the questions for like a guest was like, "What's your favorite video game ever?" But whatever, we'll get to that. But I want to go off of like TFG though. Like,
Kingdom Hearts done.
I want to know. It's Kingdom Hearts 2. Oh, I wonder what it is. Hey, Kirk, what? No, I'm kidding. Jordan, I wonder what it is.
Well, Halo.
Yeah, exactly. What is you know what? This might be a hard one. What would you guys say is you'd have to think back.
Matt.
Your favorite your Your favorite video or video series on TFG?
Halo Wars. Easy.
Halo Wars
100%.
Okay.
God, I don't know. I really like that video where I interviewed all of you.
The more recent one?
Yeah, the one where it's like all 10 members of True Friends Gaming.
Like
and I was just finding out who's my. Yeah, I got to learn a lot more about Eric that day. That was fun, and I got to just kind of hang out with everybody in like a one-on-one setting, and then I get to go through and just edit all of us like laughing and having a nice time.
Yeah, actually, that video is really fun to rewatch. That's a fun one to rewatch because of that. Like oh yeah, like I got to like even for anyone else in TFG to like find out more about that individual.
That video has like 50 views, which for a channel is not too bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I misspoke. It has like 50 likes.
Oh, that's pretty good for us.
Yeah.
But then it has more than 50 views.
Yes, it does. It has like 500 views.
Awesome.
I remember why. Okay.
What? Why?
I sent it to everyone I know. I wanted them to watch my face
and see how much weight he was going to lose one day.
Yeah,
even that one, Kirk.
Even then, that was
you were bigger. It's crazy, and that, by the way, was November 13th, 2020, is when that video came out.
And that's still
Kirk is like noticeably larger.
I would say at that point I was probably 300 pounds.
That was when you were just starting the gel in your hair thing.
But even then, it was still like not nearly as large as that old video.
Because the other one was probably another 80 pounds up from that.
Kirk was big.
You know what I'm saying?
Like we knew he was the bigger member when we started, but it's not until you see Kirk now that you realize, oh crap, Kirk was like that was bad.
Like in hindsight, it's like it's entirely.
I remember
different.
when he had like the diabetes scare, and he's like, I need to lose weight and all this other stuff, and it was just one of those things where it's like, yeah, I knew Kirk was obviously he was big, but I didn't realize Kirk was so big, like in comparison to seeing him now.
That's crazy. Point is, Kirk, you did a good job. Look at you. Look at you.
Fantastic.
Look at this handsome boy right here, everybody. Look at that. Look at that. And people are gonna watch it tomorrow on YouTube when the episode goes up on there. But look at that boy. Look at him. Look at him there. Handsome man.
Use me as a tool for inspiration. That you could actually. You just have to put the effort in and ignore your best friend for a while, and you'll get the job done.
Oh wow.
No. So it's just it literally takes a lot of your time. It really does.
Yeah,
like it's not as simple as just not. You have to actually work out, and like there's a healthy way of doing it, and there's an unhealthy way of doing it. The first 100 pounds I lost, unhealthy. Barely ate, like cardio every day. Barely ate. Didn't feel great, you know.
Yeah.
I like that sick rhyme. That was good.
So what was like the method? Like, did you do like keto or something like that, or what?
The first 100?
Yeah. Like, what was it?
It was purely keto. 30 minutes of elliptical every day. Dang. Probably what might have killed my knees, because I was pretty big at that point. And when you weigh 380 pounds, the damage to your knees when you're doing cardio, it's a lot. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of the things that really weakened me to eventually have a knee injury like later in the future, which stunted the weight loss for a while. I creeped back up, and then I started losing the weight again recently. So,
but what a tale to tell. Like, beautiful.
Yeah, one day whenever Kirk tells his future children that he was fat, and they'll be like, no, you weren't, Daddy.
But when you think about it, though, when we say things like that, I know me and Jordan have talked about this a lot, that's one of the amazing things and scary things about having a YouTube channel you've had for 10 years. It's all there. It's not going anywhere unless something happens.
I mean, you can hear Kirk's pre-puberty voice.
Yeah. Like, literally, I have history for my kids to look back on all the times I said I didn't want kids. Not kidding. It's just like they can see
all the women you tried to have sex with before meeting their mom.
And
me.
There's everything. There's just like history of who you were like, and you know it's weird, and I don't.
Yeah, I'd say I could see that for like myself too, like just seeing. Like,
definitely.
Okay, even if the thumbnails alone, like seeing like that, my old art like that, like it makes me cringe sometimes. But even like in the videos themselves that I'm in, like I'm like, whoa, this is different. I also
Whenever you see
grew up
me,
in that time.
weird because I was like, when we started, I was really lanky and skinny, as you saw in that last one. I was very lanky. Then I started like putting more muscle on again. Then I stopped that, and then I just became this Jordan.
You look the same to me. I don't know. I
don't know, dude. That neck, I still can't get over how long that neck looked in that video.
Well, that's because I was doing this. Because the way I had it set was I had like a camera basically here, and it was like a camera like setup, like not even like a webcam. And then I had at the time I only had the one monitor, which is here, so I was looking at them, and so I would be bodies pointed towards the camera, and I was like this. So you just see like just that part of my neck.
So it's just don't do that. It's so weird. No, but yeah, just like it's just really cool to see that, like just the evolution of everybody throughout the years.
Yeah,
over the years.
yeah, you can literally see the way people have like very much changed personality wise. Like I was a psycho earlier on, still a little crazy, but I was a lot worse. I mean, I was actually most of us. You know, Tyler, insufferable to be around early on, and then it was eventually got
now
like
moderately okay sometimes.
No, you know what?
No, he's way better.
No, you know what? No, like seriously,
he grew up more.
Seriously, like I want to congratulate even like and even shout out to Tyler, like definitely is to even be able to be like, yeah, nah, he's a friend now. Yeah. Like it just feels because his oh man, he was
his demeanor has changed definitely.
He was definitely
we have a viewer who actually was in the chat earlier talking. Ape Mode. You got to meet him earlier when we were playing Halo, Ricardo.
Of course, yeah.
He was our viewer from like early on, and he like that was his introduction whenever he refound us yesterday. Was like, hey, do you guys remember his old account? Which was Next Gen Hero, and we're like once I misread it the first time I read the like No Hero, and I was like, I don't know, and I was like, oh, Next Gen, yeah, I remember you. Of course, I'm the one he forgot, but whatever. I'm not salty.
Salty.
No, he was talking about the people he remembered. He's like, yeah, I remember Preston, which was of course Preston, and I remember like. And I remember Tarvidi, and we're like, oh yeah, he's like, yeah, he was a dick.
No. He said he was a troll. I'm like, yeah, he was.
Yeah, and I was like, what he says, like, yeah, whenever you popped in and said that was you, I just thought that was Tyler effing with us because I'm so used to that being like a thing.
That was such a thing back in the day because we told you how many like weird shenanigans would happen in our old channels with like modding and all that stuff, and like, you know, depending on the mood, one day like someone would get banned. And then it was such a notorious thing for some people to just make more accounts over and over and over again.
And then they'd be like, hi, and you'd be like, mod.
Yeah. Like there was probably
things. Kevin would mod them immediately, and I'd write him a song. Because I always had an acoustic with
guitar.
Me. So I would sit there and I'd do an entire song for everybody that joined. And that's how we ended up getting in the habit of anybody that wanted to join the Skype call had to do a cover of Dragon Soul from Dragon Ball Kai.
Oh my god.
That was a big thing for a while.
Which is why now every time he joins a call, I go, Haru Soul.
That makes sense.
I have a full audio recording of him singing Dragon Soul.
I would say that's probably why we've gotten to a point where I can't imagine we're that watchable. Because legitimately our humor
inside jokes
is our inside jokes because we've just known each other for so long, and it literally bleeds into average conversation because it's literally a muscle reflex. It really is. Like when Haru jumps into the call, it's literally Haru Soul, like without missing a beat every time.
And we pick up each other's vernacular. Like
that's scary. That's the scary part too. That I've
speaking
noticed
of which, guess what we get to do tomorrow?
What?
Unravel the secrets.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
We'll just pick up like
it's just one of those things that we pick up this crap that it's usually I say stupid crap and I say it enough that everyone else starts to say it. I feel like that's a pattern.
We'll get mad at him at first, and then eventually he's just so relentless that we just join in on it. We really like we're the definition of like just getting in sync with each other sometimes to a point where that is also an inside joke for us.
Yeah,
we're Backstreet.
Yeah,
and I'm not even really a part of that one, but I know it too.
Like it started with Tyler and me.
Yeah, and it just there's just so much history. It's just crazy, because it's not even just history, it's just we've spent so much time around each other, especially early on. It was
we did like nonstop. We just because it was summertime and I was in college. Kirk was about to be done with high school and Kevin was like just like fresh in high school. So we just, it was like summertime, so we all just hung out nonstop. And it was
there was no one else. There was literally only like the definite, like Jordan was talking about when he got home from school, like he just jumped on Halo, and that's just what he did, and everyone did that.
Oh, back in high school, absolutely.
Yeah, back in high school. For us, it was literally we got home from schools, we jumped on Skype and we started talking with all of our friends, and we started streaming on Endgame. That is just what we did.
It's been a decade. Like, to even think about how long a decade is, how many things have happened over that. It's time.
Almost it's been over half a decade since Ricardo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I still can't wrap my head around the fact that it's been 6 years.
Think about how many content creators that exist that have been around for 10 years and haven't gotten canceled.
Good point.
Dude, I miss Joel at Rooster Teeth.
No, just even thinking like how many like eras of, let's say, Rooster Teeth that have happened over the 10 years.
I mean, in all fairness, if we went back and reviewed all of our videos, like, because you can remember in 10 years.
Oh yeah, humor has changed like fundamentally.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's words now that like you can't say anymore. I'm not going to obviously do it, Ricardo, but like no, just talking. Like,
I was though.
I know you were. But speaking completely in terms of like historically, there are words now that would offend people that were in my health books. You know, which was like terminology to describe someone. And it's like not and at the time whenever there's like the change was happening there, you know, I was the boomer. I was like, why can't we say that? It's my health book. I've got to say that word. Yeah. And it's like oh no, we just use different terminology now, and because people kind of
so fast, like just
it's like, you know, the gamer words, those
gamer word.
Yeah, gamer words. Well, so a good example, and I'm using this as like a parenthesis, just the word gay as a whole.
Gay, canceled Ricardo.
That's a big one for sure. Like,
gay has been obviously used. Now it's pretty much been saved now, where it now refers usually to homosexual. It's just they're gay, and it's like, okay, cool. But I feel like like middle school era, I think there's people that didn't actually realize what homosexuality was.
Yeah, they just knew that word as the insult,
or maybe just say not the correlation there really.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, I feel like I was in like 5th or 6th grade the first time I learned about somebody who was homosexual. Just because it wasn't like people weren't like, they didn't speak up about it, and there wasn't.
It probably definitely depends on where you live too. It's definitely different nowadays, but
them like 90s. Like there weren't really people that I knew that were openly like homosexual. And then, so whenever people said, obviously by the point people started using the term gay, I knew what it meant. But there are people I'm sure that just thought it meant bad.
Yeah, because of
they see something they didn't like and they're like, oh yeah, they're like, I don't like this. This is gay, and they don't realize. And I'm sure it's going to keep doing that. So if for whatever, somehow we're all still here in like 10 more years, and we look back, we're like, dude, I can't believe we used to say shut up.
Yeah.
Well, as a kid, I was like told like not to say shut up, but like like that. Well, I mean,
no, because there's words that I didn't realize were going to become offensive, and like so if we go back in 10 years, you know, there's going to be like the R word.
Can we cancel the phrase "Do you know who I am?" or "You don't know who I am"? I want to get rid of that one. It's like there's no way you can say that phrase without sounding like a complete asshole.
Oh, you don't know? I mean? You don't know who I am? You don't know who you're talking to? I am? Do you not know me?
Yeah, can we cancel that? I don't like it anymore.
Wait, but
no, Kirk, do you know who I am, Kirk? You want to cancel that?
Like,
the way he's saying it.
What if somebody walks up and they're like, hey, I know you, don't I? And you're like, you don't know who I am.
Okay.
No, why not?
Fine. But no, that's definitely.
I could definitely see there are some like even
don't say one.
Like the phrase or the word like simp. Like that was one that did a huge like, you know, oh yeah, everyone's saying it. Oh, it's not as cool to say anymore, and it's like still in that murky gray
area. Are we still
not
able to say that on Twitch though?
So
or can we talk about it?
Twitch openly, because they, for whatever reason, people read that and they freaked out and completely misconstrued it. Because I had the email from them, and what they were saying is, don't go into like streams and use simp as an insult. the concept of like referring to something, like if you yourself consider yourself like somebody that's a simp or something, or if you're saying it and like talking about the word simp or like even simp, it's fine. But don't just be what Kirk's about to do.
What?
No, you just the face you're making. I was like, oh, okay.
He was gonna call me one.
I thought Kirk was gonna write in the chat. I was like, uh-oh.
Which he wouldn't be wrong. I'd say
you consider yourself a simp?
For Kirk.
Oh, Kirk.
Thank you. No. I just feel like it's like one of those like a more modern example,
right?
And like even so fast. Like I feel like that whole situation around that word was like a whirlwind, where it just kind of went, and you don't hear it as much anymore. I feel like
the term like incel was in there too.
Yeah.
It's definitely, like if you just look back at any older video or anything, I'm sure there'd be a lot that we would see or hear and be like, ooh, I don't know about that. But
how loud my keyboard is.
Wait, what?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
No, I mean like I know what's going on. I'm not blind to it.
I'm not allowed to do it. Sorry.
No, it's not. It's not that you're not allowed to.
He keeps looking over there though to see if he responds.
I know, it's just funny because I could tell. I could see. I know.
Yeah, I know. Oh, my monitor is like, I'm not doing anything. Where I'm looking. Stop.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so what about the? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've just been doing a good job of just like talking, and just ends up talking about like.
Do you have?
So that's what happens when you get us together. Yeah. Again, this goes with us knowing each other for so long. It's not like, like Mana and Aniki or Foxtail. Like we know everybody now, but it's still good to have some type of like common ground to kind of talk about. Where Kirk, you and I can sit down and we can just immediately talk for like all of a sudden be like, oh god, it's 4 a.m. We got to go to bed.
Yep.
Which we
time melts away.
Which we still take a long time. I think something that we've learned to do.
We're like, we gotta go, and then we talk for another hour and a half.
Right. Like, but I think we've at least gotten better at being like, okay, we should end it. We should hurry up and just.
So go the thing bed. Is, I always feel bad about it. Like it's kind of like because I want to do it.
Yeah.
But I know I have somewhere to be or do. Yeah. So I feel like I have to be rude about it now. I'm like, all right, I gotta go by. Like I have to hit the end button because I know if I don't, I will be there for another hour.
Yes.
And like I'll be fine with it, but then again, like sleep deprivation or
I have to force myself a lot of times. I'm like,
yeah. Even before, like just as an example, when I had to go make my food before, I'm like, all right, I really have to go if I'm gonna make this like live stream coming up for the podcast. Like but I just stayed there for another 5 minutes talking to you guys.
Yeah, we ended the stream for like a solid like 30 minutes.
And we just kept talking.
And then after that, we both rated each other and still didn't end the stream. We just sat there and talked more.
So bad, man.
It's just how it is with us because we're just chill.
It just comes so easy because, true.
Yep. Friends.
Gaming.
Yeah. Oh, we're at YouTube.com.
My goodness.
It's not all one. But again, inside jokes though.
Yeah.
Children's gaming is a unique one. We're the you know what we are? We are what it's like to be diverse without pandering.
What?
I mean,
Ricardo and I've had this conversation before. No, where it's one of those things where it's like the actual amount of diversity in True Friends gaming, and yet there's no like going out of our way to cause it. It just unintentionally.
We joked about it once or twice, but we
joked about it a lot, but we never went out of our way to do it.
Yeah, no.
We definitely made jokes whenever Elic wasn't in the group anymore.
and I mean, even things like like Latin Heat is just simply just because of we're both of Latin descent, fetish. But like that was just. Did you say fetish?
No,
what?
I thought I heard.
So we're both Spanish.
Oh, Spanish! I heard.
Okay. He said that while I said that is.
Okay. Anyway.
Fetish.
So even that, like it's not like, it was just something fun that we just started doing just because.
Yeah, because Kirk is Puerto Rican and Ricardo is Mexican Costa Rican.
Costa Rican, yeah.
So, well, I'm saying it wasn't one of the.
A second.
It's our friend James's Lao.
Another inside joke.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where I was like, if people can't tell that Kirk is also Latin, it's gonna be weird if you're like, yeah, we're Latin heat, and it's like you see me, a really white guy in Kirk, and you're just like
arguably whiter.
You're not as white as me. Also, my light is going out, but no, I'm a pale boy.
I think it's mostly in that lighting at that time.
That
lighting right now. It was like you seem a little darker, but because
it's because I'm in shadow.
Yeah.
Look at me now, I'm white, boys.
You're still significantly darker than me.
Who wants to go skateboards?
Who wants to go skateboards?
Is that your idea of white people?
That's always my go-to. I like
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 broke those barriers already. It's no longer just a white man sport.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's usually my immediate reaction, or it's just like someone says something ridiculous. I'm like, yes, I get to pretend to be white like you guys. Let's go skateboards, boys.
Even in a lot of lighting, I feel actually okay. So with this tattoo, like I'm glad that like this side of my arm, which is just like so pale, where like it sticks out so well because it's like this is like a white arm.
Look at my tattoo.
You know.
Now you can see my arm. Look at how pale I am.
I don't
when
see
I'm it.
Is that Ricardo's excuse to like flex? I think it was. I think Ricardo's.
Oh, he's just like.
I didn't flex. I just was showing my arm.
Just like the idea of being really aggressive and moving everywhere.
If I flex, I would rip my shirt.
True. Oh. I hate when that happens. There's so many times we start trying to record something, and then Ricardo's like, "Guys, I gotta get another shirt." I'm like, yeah, okay.
He gets really hyped because you know how hype Ricardo gets, and then all of a sudden,
the shirt absolutely. And he goes, "Look at the flag!"
Yeah. we actually have Johnny Bravo on True Friends Gaming. It's crazy.
Do the monkey with me. Yeah, but yeah, no, definitely. There's like actual just natural organic like diversity. We just happen to be so different, every single one.
Yeah, let's talk about all our ethnicities. White.
No, not even just about ethnicity, just in general, like even different walks of life, different backgrounds, different, you know, like it's like the Justice League. We all have our origin stories and stuff.
No, I guarantee you 99% of our origin stories start with he was a gamer. He was depressed.
Yeah. He was a sad gamer.
Yeah, that is literally all of our backstories.
Who at one point owned a guitar.
In the far distant land of Toronto, Canada, Scott Pilgrim
and it diverges
was
once. Ready?
Oh, no.
He was a sad gamer.
Oh, is that modern day us?
No, it's just, no, it's Char.
Oh, okay. I just like the idea that was like the difference between, it's like, here we are now. He is a sad gamer. It's like
now it is. Now we're just sad female gamers.
Yeah, we gotta show those guy gamers that we can game too.
That's even diversity, I guess. If we have like Char, because that was always one of the jokes. Is we had we pretty much had a color spectrum of ethnic backgrounds, but we were always like, but no girls allowed.
And then we even broke that methodology, and we added in the girl because we needed the female touch.
But I mean, we have Tyler.
Nah, she's just a good artist.
Yeah, we did have Tyler for the female touch.
Yeah,
he's a
we already have the female touch because even Char is like pretty, cool.
I still want to have the live the live art contest. I'm just saying, I want to judge.
And do that one day. Like the penguin.
I want to do this live.
The penguin with the
umbrella.
Morgan Freeman umbrella.
Yeah,
but I think it was you or Eric or somebody said that it was like Nelson Mandela, and I'm like,
I don't remember. All I know is I want to go on Discord. I want everyone to screen share. I want to stream just that, and I'll have an art contest. We'll invite everyone within reason.
That'd be funny. Within reason,
and I'll judge within reason.
But yeah, I mean, diversity in like the full sense of like everybody's so different,
even religious backgrounds.
Yeah, just all around. Yeah, everybody. Like it's cool. What?
He is Lao. You're right. but his family is Buddhist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like just everybody different. Like it's cool.
And Ricardo's Catholic.
No, I'm not Roman Catholic. I'm Protestant.
That's another inside joke. That I just tell everybody Ricardo's Catholic.
I was there when Martin Luther nailed the 95 Theses on the chapel door, dude.
Yeah, and he's had a dream.
Different person. He's named after that guy, but different guy. Oh man.
He's talking about Martin Luther of Protestantism, Kirk.
I didn't know that was a person.
He was a monk. Yeah, he was a monk.
I really did think it was the same person we were talking about.
No, different person. Like, in the 1500s, was it 1500s? I forget. Anyways,
wow. Someone Protestant check him right now because he could be spitting out lies.
well, Martin Luther was Martin Luther was a Catholic
your family's
monk.
Protestant. Protestant. Your family's Protestant.
Me?
Yeah.
No, we're Roman Catholic.
He's from New York. Anyway,
we don't Protestants.
Martin Luther was a German monk who was Catholic, and then just one day he was like, I don't agree with this because I read this. So now, and then he started like writing. Then he wrote like the reasons why different, and then he started the Reformation, which is where Protestants came from. And the storks.
I can't say I was ready for the Protestant backstory.
No, that was it. That's who Martin Luther is what I'm saying.
So anyway,
different than
James
Dr. King.
Lau is Buddhist.
Yeah.
When do we break it to Ricardo that we've actually been recording this as well, and we're going to put it on our channel before him? Just to call it the TFG podcast.
I mean, I am recording it.
Isn't that you breaking it to me now? Is you saying that?
We're too far gone. You have to commit.
Yikes. Yeah, I've got everything, even sexual orientation. We're awesome. Thinking of pandering. Yeah, wow. We should just make that.
Disney should hire us. Wait.
You should list them all off, Jordan. You should list off everyone's sexuality right now.
Yeah, you just want to find out what Tyler is. Speaking of which,
another inside joke. We should.
No, yeah. So, and this is how far this one goes. So Kirk's like one of the only people who doesn't know Tyler's sexual orientation because he doesn't want Kirk to know. Tyler messaged me within like 18 seconds of Kirk being added to the Discord, and he goes, "Jordan, quick! Kirk added me. Delete any messages that might have said my sexuality in chat." And I was just like, "Kirk or Tyler, there are none." And he's like, check the possibilities of like different words or names that could be used, or write Kirk to see if there were times where we made fun of Kirk for not knowing. And I was like, I checked, that doesn't mention anywhere. And he's like, cool. So he immediately messaged me. He was like, Kirk's in Ricardo's chat, remove anything.
oh wait, really?
Yeah. As I said, within like 18 seconds
today?
Within 18 seconds of you adding Kirk, Tyler PM'd me. That's how I knew Kirk was in. That's how I knew Kirk was in there.
That's perfect.
I hate that so much. That's actually hysterical.
And there was that one time we're like, wait, but Tyler, but like if he sees your Twitter or whatever, he's like, no, I made sure that Kirk wouldn't be able to see my Twitter.
He blocked me on Twitter?
No, I don't think he blocked you. I think he just like...
No, he did. He blocked him.
Oh, he blocked... Oh.
Wow. That motherfucker knows I'm too lazy to make another account to follow him.
That's what he said.
Oh my God.
He banked on it.
He's not gonna make another one.
Ricardo, if you didn't say that, I would have never known too, so I think you fucked up.
No.
I never knew this until now.
No.
So maybe I will not be... No, it could be too lazy. I don't care enough.
No, I don't think he ever did the branding change he wanted to do.
But plus he had... I think that's the thing that
Tyler... brand around his sexuality?
I guess.
Well, no,
he
but
had a
even...
bunch of changes he wanted to do.
But I think Tyler even had like said that he made sure that nothing on Twitter had said anything anyway, even if you did do it. Huh? Oh, he is a person, a human. His name is Tyler Tarvidi.
Yeah.
That's what.
And I don't know if the other people in the group want us to really talk about their orientation either, so I'm not going to mention.
That's just a funny one. That's
I appreciate
just been
that.
A long-running joke for a while.
I'm glad you're not going to tell anybody that.
What, Ricardo? What?
He tried to set the joke and now he's like regretting it.
What are you going to say?
It was going to end in Ricardo being okay. That James is loud.
James is loud.
That's James' sexuality? Oh my God. He's loud.
Oh my God. Oh man. But yeah, it's crazy. TFG.
Do you I have a question for you, Ricardo. What was your first impression of us as True Friends Gaming?
It's probably hard for him to think now because it's like thinking of how he knows us all now.
It's hard for me to think because I'm an idiot. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I wouldn't know.
Because he's not loud.
I think for me, it's like, oh my God, someone who could do art better than Elic. Win.
I mean, who?
So anyway, no, it's cool. He's playing FF14 right now, I think.
I said that to Elic, so it's fine.
Oh, that's messed up. I don't.
Well, Elic is funny because Elic gets it. Elic likes to. Oh yeah, Eric does know. Elic likes to will go along with a lot of those jokes.
I know what that conversation too is between Tyler and Eric. Tyler goes to Eric, "Hey Eric, I'm going to tell you my sexuality, and you can never tell Kirk. And this is purely just to bother Kirk." And Eric's like, "All right, cool, I'm in."
Yeah, I bet.
I know how that conversation goes.
I more imagine Eric being like, "Yeah, sure, whatever."
Yeah.
But yeah, I was introduced to Jordan and thusly TFG through Elic. So like, my impression was like, okay, this. First of all, because immediately we started making up the stupid joke idea of the Batman thing. And it's like, okay,
yeah.
So somebody who like is also like, I mean, carries that nostalgia for a lot of the stuff that I grew up with too, like, you know, from like the 90s era and early 2000s or whatever. And like,
yeah,
I don't know. And then, cause I can't remember what was the first, like when did I first like interact with,
this is such a bad question to ask you, because I can't remember my first impression of you.
So your first, other than me, the next reaction with other people was Tyler and me. Where Tyler and I were talking, we were all just kind of chatting, and then we're like, because obviously we knew Ricardo was great at art. I'm sure Ricardo knows that. Ricardo's starting to remember now. And we were just talking, and I was just like, man, you know what we need? New branding. And Tyler's like, yeah, we do. I was like, man, if only we had somebody that could make art for us, that'd be great. And he's like, yeah, but sorry, Scott, we just kept doing that. And then finally Ricardo's like, I could do art. And I was like, really? I never thought of that possibility.
Fucking scam.
The only thing I remember was that
we'll pay you an exposure.
The only thing I remember was that it was like the whole thing of like how you guys kept mentioning, and even Tyler himself, that like Tyler loves money or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is why then I drew. So even on the first video for Fishing Planet, there was money on the fish hook, and Tyler's grabbing it from the fishing rod.
So perfect for him.
And
too.
you had that was like a whole joke thing that we kind of talked about, like while you were making. It's like, yeah, I gotta have them, because that was even when you made the branding the first time, was like Tyler had the money flipping, and then of course, do you remember Tyler's complaint?
Looked like a goblin.
No, it wasn't just a goblin.
Oh, a Jewish goblin?
Yeah, because it has to do with, because Tyler's family is Jewish. So
yes,
his word choice was, I look like a Jew goblin. And I was just, it was just like,
it's crazy. Jesus. And he also at that point mentioned his sexuality, which was what?
Wow.
Yeah, that I don't know, like, it's just, I can't even remember right now like what the very first like impression was, and like specifically it's just kind of was like, oh, this is a group of people that I can play games with, and like
it's a group of like-minded individuals that are absolutely nothing alike if you like think about it in the grand scheme, but they're all
definitely. Yeah, we are very different people, but we all just get along on this weird fundamental level. I don't know if it's just games, if that's,
well, it's not, because if you think about some of this conversations, we have like deep emotional moments together.
Oh, yeah,
we all have
crying each other's shoulders.
Never mind.
And that's not even a bit.
Even in recent memory.
Mm-hmm.
But I said I wouldn't mention it, so I won't.
Oh, it's one of those things where we do know we're all there for each other.
Yeah, I feel like we don't, as always
much as we like, we will, like, if you see us in videos, it sounds like we just hate each other, because we're just either, well, you could tell because we're all laughing most of the time, but we're saying just some of the meanest things to each other.
We just tear into each other so bad.
And then we're there like, hey man, is everything okay? And it's like the stuff you don't see.
Yeah, no, obviously we don't advertise that we're actually like not awful friends to each other all the time, because that's not entertaining.
I think what's cool is that even naturally doing that, of like just, you know, making fun of each other or turning into each other, it's like kind of perfectly, ironically fits the branding of like, oh, True Friends Gaming, but because we're making fun of each other all the time.
Yeah, it's like they're not friends. They suck at gaming, and everything they say is a lie. They're not true friends or gaming.
Yeah.
We're not, and we live for the irony, like, you know. We just do the most ridiculous things sometimes. They're just very polar opposite to our personalities.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy that it works out. whatever sucks us together is there. I don't know what.
I guess we should mention for people that are curious, by the way, True Friends Gaming is a channel that's composed of 10 friends. There are, well, I guess we just went down the line. It's Jordan, Kevin, Kirk, Matt, Tyler, Kyle, Ricardo, James, Shar, and Eric. And we play a game. What's the matter, Kirk?
Nothing.
No, we'll do it by color coordination.
I thought we did
Red,
do this.
Green, blue, cyan.
Oh, right, the color coordination thing we didn't.
Because we have colors for all of us too.
That's a fun thing. Let's talk about that. Yeah, the colors. So like,
okay,
Jordan's green, Kirk is blue, Kevin's red.
Yeah. So whenever that started, that was like a thing of, we kind of had stuff like we'd play games like God, I can't remember the name of the Aegis Wing.
Aegis Wing.
And like games like that. So it's like all the same ship, but they're like the different colors. So it was like, oh, I'll be green, he'll be blue, and then we'd play like another game. And I'm green, he's blue, Kevin's red. It was like, okay, so we've got this whole dynamic. So when we were coming up with the first logo design, we're like, let's get something that's like green, blue, and red. And that the Kyle made, remember the Triforce, which was like, so I didn't realize that both Kirk and Kyle suffer from slight color blindness.
Oh.
Kyle's worse than Kirk's, which is weird because he also has a certificate in art like Ricardo does. But so our colors ended up.
If you think about it, Kyle and Ricardo actually have the same abilities as an artist.
So my dark green, Kirk's like dark purple, and Kevin's dark red ended up being like lightish green, kind of purple, and red.
I can one up this even more because the fact that Kyle is older than Ricardo means that he has more life experience, which could argue that makes Kyle a better artist than Ricardo.
Maybe he is. What if Ricardo or Kyle's like crazy good at like hand drawing? Just none of
I
don't know if you guys know this, but Kyle has made all my art this whole time.
Ricardo actually hasn't done anything for the channel. He pays Kyle under the table.
Wow, that explains so much.
Mm-hmm. And that's why every time I'm like, "Hey, Kyle," he's like, "Yo," because he's all like upset that I'm taking all the credit.
I think he's saying "yo" because it's literally all the brain power he can give us because he's actually actively working on art for every famous YouTube channel you've ever seen.
I was worried
about that for a second. And that was a bad time.
I was worried for a second.
He says "yo" because that's all his brain power. It was just like full stop.
Like that episode of Jimmy Neutron.
They care about each other.
There's an episode of Jimmy Neutron where Sheen has like that huge brain.
Yeah.
From eating all the book gummies.
Kyle's brain's huge. You can only allow so much time when you're like a full-time artist like he is. So if you're making art for every, fucking who's famous nowadays, Smosh, they're still famous. Totally, he does the art for them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess they probably are.
No, they are because they do like their channel. They do their channel with like doing like improv games kind of thing, and that's a fun thing actually.
Ryan Higa and Sean Fujiyoshi.
Yeah, that's Kyle.
Yeah,
seems like the safer way to say the name of the channel.
Yeah,
that's a fair
point. Which is But yeah, no.
Kirk and I will simultaneously do the.
No, but yeah. I think I remember that.
Any other questions in the tank?
I remember that old logo thing. It was like, or at least I don't know if it's the same one you're talking about, but it was like a red.
We've had so many iterations.
Yeah, that was the Triforce.
It was like a really they're like really dark colors. That was when
Kirk. Once upon a time, Kirk made our art.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you have that still, Kirk?
What's that look like?
I might.
I was going to say that
I want to say it's on my external hard drive.
That, if not, that actually might be lost to the ages.
No, I'm sure I have it in my external hard drive because I actually have almost all of our TFG stuff in there.
Hang on.
It might be in my deep archive.
This is always the best part of the podcast. People have to start looking through folders for stuff.
I mean, it's fun. I mean,
Is this the thing that happens during you guys' podcast?
No,
not really. I mean, it happened like the first one. We're just like going through like the fan art that Foxtail had, but no, this is fine.
Oh man, I just found a picture which was
go ahead.
I
know what.
This was one which was all of the TFG members at the time were in a call together, and I see Elik, the hero of everything, Preeson 101, Upside Down Grunt, Chibi Kai, Tarvidi, Blacksoar 325, JKU 390, and Death God 840. That was before Alex was Sir Alex. That was when he was Death God 840.
That's funny.
I literally found like documents to transfer. It's just like 2013 Christmas lists. I got a Word file that just says gamer tags. I think I was. Oh my god! I think I was just categorizing my old gamer tags because I thought I lost them one day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that logo.
Licensing key. I think one of this is a licensing key for like a streaming software we used back in the day.
Camtasia.
It might have been.
It might. I think it was. I think it actually was Camtasia.
I think it was. Yeah, I had to actually message the creators of Camtasia, and I got a licensing key from them.
Camtasia. I remember back in the day. I think it was in 2012 or 2011. I wanted to do like Let's Plays and stuff. I used Camtasia because it was the only one that actually worked on my laptop. And
what year?
Like 2011, I think. Or
so like when we were starting and stuff.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny that I try to do that too. Which the channel is still on YouTube.
Yeah, no, you showed me some of those.
Yeah. That was
Man, I don't want to call out anybody, but if you guys ever went to the Elic Ashcroft channel on YouTube, youtube.com/Elic Ashcroft, not to call anybody out, and watch his first video. No, it's just funny because it's like you hear him in there and he's like, it's him setting up a Let's Play and he's trying to get the game and stuff on. So you see him like clicking on all the sources and getting the video ready. And he's sitting there and he starts talking to his mom and like the intro. So he's talking to her for a while. She's like asking him to go get. So I was like, yeah, okay. And he walks off to like get food. And this is all in the opening of the game.
Ricardo, I'm going to send you something.
Is it your first
video? To show on stream?
Oh, wait, Kirk, did you find it?
1 second. Let's send it to you.
I'll try to open the one that Jordan sent as well real quick.
Just double check.
The one I made you don't have to open. Mine's just like a quick thing that I think I threw together like as a temporary thing just so we had something.
Mm-hmm.
We got one, but Jordan was talking about that one before.
Oh wow, okay.
We got
I found them all. Holy crap, I found like the Minecraft skins I made of everybody.
Let me open these up then.
You know what else I have here, Kirk? The Beyblade Abridged voices.
So here's the Triforce. It's on stream right now.
Oh my god!
There's that Triforce one that we were talking about.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, so that was the one Kyle made. That was after, by the way, going through and having him fix some of the colors. I still look at it and it makes me think of either Mexico or a pizza box.
Oh, this did not age well. This did not age well at all.
Oh no!
Wait. Here's this banner that Kirk just sent me, and
oh my god!
Yeah,
that is 2011. That is like our oldest art.
So essentially, what a lot of these are literally just our stream memes.
Hey, look, he also made the next one, which
in fact we don't even have like the first one didn't even have True Friends Gaming written on it yet, did it? I think it's like the Friends or something.
The one that's showing right now is our first one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Matt wasn't added yet. When he's labeled, whenever you added him, you just wrote the Brit.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
BRB screen.
Here is By
the
Kirk's,
way, every one of these things are inside jokes.
The dedicated friend.
Well, no, that's why I said it didn't age well. The dedicated friend.
Oh yeah. Well, that was the joke even then, because that was whenever you were you were always like streaming on.
This is just Xbox buttons, but
no, that was one of our old. I think maybe this was a pitch for a profile picture that never.
I think we ended up putting that on like Ustream.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know who made this, but I do remember seeing this. You guys have shown me this before over the years. This old art for the Alliance of Acquaintances.
Yeah.
Where it has like everybody, like the faces of whoever's a part of that.
That was, I believe, Joshua Mora, one of our friends, Mora-kun, and his sister Eliza. They're real life friends of James, who's in True Friends Gaming. We each had a character that was like attributed to us. So like on the you can see like Sora from Kingdom Hearts on there. That's Kevin. If you can tell which one's him, you can see like Tarvidi is the Prinny or whatever they're called over there. Above him is Dalton. Marilyn Jutsu. There's the Meowth, which was Mega. There's the Pichu, which is Desi. I'm the Fire Emblem character. The guy at the bottom, I think, was Josh or James. James is the one under Tyler. Is James. Okay. Josh is at the bottom. I think Alex is next to him. Like, this is Matt might be at the top. I think that's Chie. I can't tell though, or Lightning. But it's like, for the most part, like everybody on here are people that were, except with the exception again of Ricardo, who are True Friends Gaming members. The far right, I think, is Kyle. And Eric. Eric wasn't on this list either, or Shar. Shar talked to us, but she wasn't part of the AOA. And Eric, we pretty much only knew from like Kirk. But yeah, I've got all the old AOA art.
And next one is this for Kevin.
So the backstory for this is one of the things me and Kevin were going to do. This was
the big thing, which was Kevin and Kirk were going to do something for the channel.
We're going to do a Sly Cooper race through the 3 games, and I made a trailer for it.
It was great. I saw it and I watched it. I was like, you made like a trophy. Remember, you made
the winner trophy here.
Yeah, and I was like, this is really cool. They're putting a lot of work into this. And then like the next day, Kevin's like, yeah, it wouldn't pick up when I tried to record it, so we have to stop.
That sucks.
I made assets for it.
And this is that BRB screen you were talking about.
Yeah, this is our first ever TFG BRB screen.
Chris Hansen.
Because we just watch it. Yeah, but like there's.
Why are there 2 of them though? Why are there 2 of them?
Because he's telling Chris Hansen to take a seat.
But he's Chris Hansen to take a seat.
But yeah, see, we weren't true friends yet. We
were
the
friends.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, go back to that first one because I want to see like all of our inside jokes. Kirk, can you send me those? I want all the old in-game art.
Wait,
I'll send them all.
This is the one I remember seeing, which was like the purplish blue.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was the one that he made. Where I was like, Kirk, that's actually really good. Like I was like, this because we didn't have ours. So like that's going to be the one that's going to be our banner, and we ended up using that for the longest time as the True Friends Gaming. Like whenever you could do banners type thing.
Mm-hmm.
There was a typo originally with that one too, and this was also the one where I found out Kirk was colorblind.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I mean.
I'm just going down like my asset list right now.
Yeah. Oh man. Yo. Oh god.
Yugi Jaden and Yusei.
We are our secret hidden YouTube channel.
Because a lot of people from the group were all like with the exception of me for the most part. I knew of like abridged series, but I wasn't like a huge follower of them. But because pretty much everybody else there followed CJ because he was an abridger. They were all really into like the abridging and stuff, and they wanted to make series and things like that, which we always said it'd be cool to make an abridged series. Of course, we never actually got around to it.
I would love to make an abridged series.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, well, see it happen in 2022.
Oh boy, can't wait! You heard it here first.
Wait, what are you talking about? What?
Anyway, so and that's why I actually mentioned I found the old Beyblade audio stuff because we had a Beyblade abridged series. We made and completely casted with like all like 20 people, and everybody had like a different role. We had the episode done, and then we just never. Well, I say we never did it. The person that was going to edit it was Tyler, so that was already. It wasn't going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, because of the abridged background, it wasn't long after that Little Karibo had his Paraboss cover come out, and James really liked the idea, so it was going to be James, Kevin, and Kirk were going to do a Paraboss cover. And I was like, hey, I'll edit it for you guys, throw everything together. And so we got everything. And then like, I got Kevin's audio, I got Kirk's audio. And then James like, yeah, I don't think I can do it. So I was like, okay, so I'll be Yami. So then that became the 3 TFG members. So we made a TFG, it's like a secondary channel for that crap.
Had a couple of covers on there.
Yeah. And then Kevin was like, I don't know, I guess Kevin became so obsessed with his own abilities that then he also recorded the other 2 voices and I edited that for him. So on his channel, you can find Kevin being all 3 of them. But on our other channel, yeah, we've got us 3 doing that. We've got, Kevin singing a Brentalfloss song, the Final Fantasy one. And we have Kevin and Matt singing A Whole New World.
Oh my goodness.
With Matt being Jasmine.
I actually had a lot of these on my iPod for the longest time. I had most of Kevin's covers of things.
Didn't you also have Matt singing Barbie Girl on there?
I did. I would be going to school listening to my friends sing songs.
Now for the next image, what is going on here? What is this? What is this Ouija?
Right. If you could.
Oh, so our friend Dean got a version of Pokemon Crystal from Vietnam. It was Viet Crystal.
Okay.
And all of the names and stuff were broken and messed up. So the way that it was like pronounced when they shown the character was Okaduo. So we saw it and it was like Professor Okaduo, and Dean freaking lost it. And so that was we got that from there. We got Volcano Baked Meat, which was I think the potion. I think you got a potion out. It's like you found one Volcano Baked Meat.
Yeah.
So it was like because it was a cracked version from Vietnam where they tried to. I guess they what they did was they took a cartridge and tried to put as much data as they could in there, and then they translated it themselves, quote unquote. So everything's like miswritten and broken and weird. And now you can find that online. I think it is just labeled as like Viet Crystal.
I've had one of those for sure. I still have one. That's like a.
But Dean absolutely loved our friend from Wales, by the way, Dean. He loved doing that. That was another inside joke. Because all of a sudden, like his internet was going bad, like, oh, I guess the whale's swimming further away.
Oh my goodness!
So yeah, that was I thought that was the last one I sent, but that was just some of the things that
was Okaduo. That first one I do want to see again though, because I want to see all of our inside jokes there. Because
I'm going to compress everything in my TFG asset folder to a zip file and send it to you on Dropbox.
Okay, thanks, Kirk.
The very first one?
Maybe we'll see when it pops up.
I mean,
so the first one I believe was labeled.
This one says the Brit on it,
stream.
Okay, well this is at least some of them, right? Because I mean, so we've got Tally on there. Tally was the most popular person on in-game. It was just a creator named Tally. We see on the side, Take a Seat. On it is the Skulltula from the one that scared the F out of Kirk when it dropped. But
it also is another.
There's a double meaning, which is Kirk's spider, which is a great. So Kevin, he would go and he would look at like our friends or just random people. So he'd just go to their stream and start streaming their stream, and then we'd just sit there and like talk or make fun of them. And then we'd like write in their chat, like we'd get in their chat and just be like, "Oh, we're streaming you," and they'd be like, "Cool, thanks." And we'd just be like, poop butts, or whatever. Like we would talk to them, and then they'd be like, all right, cool, whatever. So there was this girl named Aro, and we were just watching her stream. We were just kind of like talking or whatever. And we talked to each other like we always do, and we were just watching her. And then all of a sudden, Kurt goes, it's everywhere. And we're just like, what? And then he like runs up with her and go, I gotta get a Kleenex. I'm like, Jesus, he's really into this. And then he yelled, there's a spider. And so I was like, I guess if that's what they want to call it these days. So the joke for a while was that Kirk's erection he referred to as the spider. So what actually ended up happening was a spider landed in front of Kirk. It scared him. He smashed it and it effing exploded all over all of his stuff.
It's funny how I also like to note the fact that this is I guess the first instant that Matt was included on an asset.
That's what I said, because you had him written as the Brit.
The Brit, yeah.
And it's funny because Matt and Tyler actually joined True Friends Gaming officially on the same day. But Matt's the one I messaged first about it. And then Kyle joined not super long after that when we did the Halo stuff, and was like, hey, can I, he's like, I want to get in on the Halo. And it's funny because now Kyle's the one that doesn't play Halo, but he's like, if you guys need help, I can join and we can do Halo stuff. And that's how Kyle actually got in.
I want to say the Pyro was because we were playing TF2 so much at this time. And
that was when was
for the Haru Soul stuff, which we were mentioning before.
Yeah, that was the Goku was Dragon Soul. Okay. The Manverse Machine was releasing. I don't think it was out yet. I think they announced it, and we were going to be doing that.
What's up with Sasuke right here?
I'm trying to zoom in on that because I can't really remember what that was.
That was one I was trying.
Nobody will understand the food I taste. Nom 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 nom.
God, what was that? Right when you said nobody will, I remembered the full sentence in my head. Nobody will remember the food I.
Nobody will understand.
That's a Kirkism, right? Like that's something.
It's definitely a Kirkism. I just don't remember why. I'm assuming it was at the time that I allegedly ate.
No, that wasn't when you poured your beefaroni with freaking
Hawaiian Punch.
Hawaiian Punch. That was disgusting.
I still think it's the ultimate meal. Well, I know the read the terms and conditions. We mentioned that one before too. That was Hawkeye. Who
that was whenever we
the
got
terms and
in trouble
conditions.
by the viewer Hawkeye for
Okay.
watching Chris Hansen's.
I don't remember the significance of the Leon or the
That
Axel.
was me. That was my profile picture. My picture was Squall.
Oh, okay.
I used to, because on in-game I used the Squall picture, and Kevin had a Sora picture and you had a Riku picture.
Yeah, that was I didn't get the Squall one. I don't remember the Leon one.
Yeah, because then the joke for a while was that I should start using a Kyrie profile picture. And I said no. So, and then my first solo LP was the Fire Emblem stuff. So I ended up making freaking Elliowood be my profile picture for a while.
What's up with the Yu-Gi-Oh guy?
We just said that.
We will do. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was another thing. Yeah. Because there were so many times where we would have that joke happen because, after you hear somebody say even duel and stuff that way, where it's just like the random words that could be used for duel, it was always like, I'm going to go duel in the back. It's like, yeah, I bet you are. And it became a running gag. I remember there was a lot of times Desi and I would be like, yeah, we're doing it up in Kevin or Kirk's attic was one of those stupid jokes. Like Wumbo. That was another one of the funny ones with Kirk's inability to read. Because Desi and I still have that.
Oh my goodness.
I hate you.
Yeah, she wrote Wumbo in the chat, and Kurt goes, oh, Desi loves me? I'm like, what? And he read Wumbo as I love you.
What?
So there's just random times now where, Desi and I will just send Wumbo because it's funny.
That's funny.
I like how I'm the source of so many inside jokes from just my inability to read and spell to a point where multiple people have had multiple chats just saying.
Do you want to know when our last Wumbo was?
When?
What?
December 6th, 2021 at 1:04.
Oh, that was this month.
They still Wumbo.
That was yesterday.
How sweet is that? You still Wumbo.
Yesterday was the last time that we did the Wumbo. That was whenever she randomly messaged while we were doing the stuff.
It's just so crazy to me that we like I can never share shit like this with almost anyone else. Like I can think of maybe like one other person.
Yep. And she was one of those people we met back then. Remember we met her on Omegle on July 4th. Yeah, July 4th, 2011.
Yeah, we would stream talking to strangers on Omegle, but like just the
I have no idea how we managed to not find anything bad on that.
We're good.
That's interesting.
It wasn't video chats. It was only text chats. So I guess if we felt like things were going to get really uncomfortable, we'd just kill it. And just like leave the chat.
I think the first ones that Kevin did were video call.
I don't think I was there for that. I think...
Anyway, we somehow didn't find anything weird. The only times we had anything weird were off stream. Other people having their videos turn on or something.
No, we've had a lot of wacky random moments with a lot of wacky random people.
A lot of whacking.
I got a question.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Because now we're talking about reminiscing. There's a lot of fun stuff that happened. What would you guys say has been the hardest part of TFG over the years? 10 years.
The hardest part.
Most difficult.
What is success?
There are times. There's times where, because obviously there's lows in every YouTube channel, and unfortunately we don't get the high moments where we get like tons of viewers and subs, but we get the moments where all of a sudden our channel starts to drain. What Eric actually said in the chat is kind of getting close to that, trying to get everyone together for specific things. So there were times where there'd just be like, 3 months or something where it was just me, trying to, and I was trying to create as much content. Like that was back when I was trying to do videos daily, regardless. So I was finding like old streams and making like a quick highlight video, or I'd make a quick video, or I would do whatever. And it just got to the point where it's like, nobody's watching this. We're losing 2 to 3 subs a day. I'm the only one that cares. Should I even keep doing this? And it, that still, there's times where I'll just sit there and be like, what's the point? Not because of the lack of, but it's like, do I still have as much enjoyment making video? Because it's like, I love making the group stuff. But like the Halo things, I try to not upload as many of those because we've lost 5 subscribers since the last video went up.
Really?
And I was just like, well, that sucks, because those are a lot of fun and it's good to have all of us. And I know it, even streaming it is bad but we have fun, so that's why we do it.
You have fun. That's why we do it.
And that's the stuff I like to edit. I like to edit with all of our friends and groups and stuff.
And it's also the hardest ones to edit because you're worried about multiple perspectives. Like the fact that Jordan's going through the history in Halo essentially and getting all of our perspectives. Like we have people in there who aren't streaming. We have people in there who don't have good computers, and the only reason why it looks good is because literally Jordan's going back
and grabbing Halo Infinite's Forge mode, by the way, or theater mode, is ridiculous because it really is stuff like Kirk is flying in a Banshee. He gets shot and he falls off a cliff. So his body is now registered as no longer in the game. So now once it comes back, rather than loading back the camera as Kirk, the camera is now on Kevin. So now Kirk's footage is all Kevin. So I have to go and quickly find Kirk's footage again before the next battle happens. Or Kirk gets shot with a laser weapon and his body melts. Kirk's body is no longer registered again. So I anytime people get melted or disintegrated, their body falls into an area where it disappears, or if they like break through something, I have to switch back. And then there's occasional times where the game doesn't work right. So all of a sudden it'll like, there's the first person that joins the lobby and it loads them in first. So that's who my starting camera point has to be on until the video starts. After like the boop, 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 then I can look around. Which is annoying as crap. I wish I could just move anytime, but it's them. So I'll be on like Kirk and all of a sudden it'll decide some of the connection stuff might've been weird for a second on the server. So it cuts back to whoever the first person was. But because it still thinks it's on Kirk, it's Kirk's camera over that person's camera, and it just slides around on the ground.
That's weird.
So it's just a free-flying camera just sliding around with like Kirk's body where that guy was, but it just looks in one direction. And then I have to quickly go back to find like zoom away and then cut back to Kirk. Oh, and then also once somebody melts, final thing, once somebody melts and you go back to their perspective, the kill feed is gone. So if you watch, there's certain people that don't have kill feeds, and that's because early on in the match, their body got melted. So then whenever I play or go back to their footage, they no longer have a kill feed for the rest of this.
It's weird.
So this goes back to what I say is, what is success? Like it literally, what we have is dedication in spades with just Jordan alone.
And like, I had a video of 8 of us the next day.
And how many people do you think exist right now that know the intricacies of the beta of Halo Infinite's like Forge like recording?
Oh, I can't imagine. That's another thing. You know, I got one more thing.
See, there you go. But it's so like these are the things you find out when you're dedicated.
Is capture the flag. We'll like capture the flag, big team battle fragmentation. You load in. It goes to any of our footage, and first off, if they die, it's going to mess it up anyway. It's going to change it. But like if I cut to Kirk's footage, but I start at like 2 seconds, the game now registers as Kirk's footage as Slayer on Bazaar. So the bottom of the screen, and you'll see that on the first one because I didn't realize how to fix that, was that everything is labeled as a Slayer match regardless of the fact we're playing Stockpile. But it shows so it's like it's trying to count the Slayer points, but it's only doing it per score. So once we get like a full set, then it says we have 1 kill. And it does it with any game type. And it always changes the map to Bazaar because I guess that was the first map. So I have to go to the 0 second mark, refresh it, and then play, and then it knows what game type we're playing, and it will show it the proper HUD down at the bottom. However, because it still doesn't register it, it doesn't know team side. So if we play like a territories game, no matter what the rings when you look at them are red, it'll be blue, white, and red at the bottom. But no matter where you are, if you capture it, it's red. If it's neutral, it's red. If it's theirs, it's red. And if you play the seed game, both sides it tells you to capture, like steal from. So it tells us to steal from our own base and the enemy's base.
That's interesting. Yeah, because I have noticed like sometimes it'll be like when it's on like our teammate, like I think it was in like I forgot which one, and it was James's perspective or something, or our perspective, and we would look at like a teammate, they would be red, like if they're an enemy or something like that.
Yeah. But, so that's the other thing you have to immediately turn off whenever it goes to it. It tries to have highlights on so you can like see the enemies and crap through the wall. And it's like, I got to turn all this off. But yeah, so whenever the shields pop in theater mode, it just makes them glow this bright color. And sometimes it doesn't know. Eric's was one that the entire time he didn't have a kill feed because he got melted in like the very beginning.
Oh, that's weird. But yeah, so like, do you think then, going back to like those moments where like you feel as like what's the point? Do you think it's like because there is like a lack of like this tangible like consistent success in terms of like, oh, you know, viewership going up, subscription going up? Like, do you think it's like that?
No,
that has a part in it?
For me, it is it's True Friends Gaming. This I create scenarios where my friends have to participate with me. Like the newest project that we kind of hinted at was like, hey, if I make this thing, they'll have to hang out with me and record voices. You know, like, so it's like
I think I worded like that.
That's what it is. I mean, it's me finding ways to trick my friends to spend time with me.
You don't need
even like Halo Infinite. It's like, why do you think I tell everybody to download it? That's why do you think I got in the chat earlier? Like, guys, we need to play Command and Conquer Red Alert again.
But I mean, Halo. But with Halo, it's like, I mean, it's a game that I like to play anyway.
Well, Halo is
like,
and people know I love Halo.
So it's like, I think with that, at least it's like, well, I mean, yeah, we all like the game, so we all.
But so when I'm going like, but to answer your question, when I'm going like a month without talking to anybody, I'm just like finding old footage and be like, man, this was a lot of fun. Shame we don't do this anymore. And then I put it out and it's got like 1 view and 2 dislikes, and then somebody unsubs. I'm like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. You know, it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah. But luckily, YouTube got rid of the dislike button, so there's that.
Well, the dislike button's there, just the count is gone.
Yeah.
Aha.
Which, I mean,
they can't get rid of our vampire.
They buffed our channel. Woohoo!
How do we balance this game? Everybody gets a buff.
Do you guys know what our most, which by the way is also based on bad naming, disliked video is on the channel?
I know what our most liked. But...
No, it's not you having sex with Rouge. What Kirk does when he's not editing. Sonic has sex with Rouge. I'll just go ahead and tell you because you probably won't guess.
I don't know.
Stardew Valley, and it's because it was a bunch of people there. And I just called it Stardew Valley Battle Royale because it made me think of the movie Battle Royale. Stuff like Fortnite starts getting big. And
they're expecting some kind of like mod.
So people jump in looking for a. So let me actually look that up. I'm sure I can still see
crazy.
On the page.
That's funny.
Yeah. Wow. So and
did anyone ever comment like complaining about the name of the video, or you're just going off of the logic there, which I mean makes sense.
I thought it was a mod.
I just like
Fortnite.
the idea of Yeah, I just like the idea of someone complaining. I thought this was a mod for Stardew, so I could play
How I
Fortnite.
go play Stardew without the mod to play the game?
I don't know.
I want to play Fortnite with my friends.
How do
This
I?
is what I
well, now it's multiplayer.
Because I know that going back to like that discouragement of like why am I keep doing it? Like that's definitely, I think that's something that has even plagued I know myself in just like doing stuff and not seeing the I know for myself, like if it's like I'll do something and it doesn't get a reception that I thought it would get, then it just makes me feel like, well, then why am I even doing it?
It's so funny too.
You guys,
whenever me and Jordan talk about us succeeding and getting a lot of views and making money, you know what we always talk about is what we do with the money. And you know what that is? It's funny how Jordan mentioned how it's an excuse for us to hang out. We instantly go, oh yes, if we get famous, we could just buy a house so we could all live together.
That's always been something we've always talked about.
It's just what we talk about.
Which is something then
like that's the cool idea, right? Just all of our friends being together all the time, being able to just do this crap.
Which that even leads me to like when even like this past what was it, like 2-3 months ago or whenever, when like finally meeting Jordan in person, or even when you guys finally met in person, and like even the videos from that, but like even like the videos from that were like just how exciting it was for everybody, because like, oh, it's finally happening, because of how often we always talked about like just wanting to be together in the same physical space. And
have you guys talked about that a lot during any of the other podcasts out of curiosity?
No, but I was going to say that Kirk Jordan hug, I think, is one of the big highlights of the channel.
Yeah, because that's like
it was a fruition of like finally, Like I was so excited for you guys and for us.
I remember
this is happening.
Crying faces and stuff. But I was like, wow,
and I felt the same way when I got to see you guys see each other. It's like, and like the first one I was like, fuck, I wish I could have been there because that just sounds so cool.
Like, that's the thing. I think
like to meet our friend.
And I think in like recent time and even going forward, it's like I feel like there is like this snowball effect. Like it'll just be happening. Like we'll be able to do that. Like even.
That would be great.
How more realistic it is to be like, hey,
it costs
we'll
money.
Fly there. Yeah. But like, it's like we'll get there at the same time. You know what
we'll
kind
get
of
there,
thing?
Yeah. We can make plans.
And the thing is, I mean, like, Kirk's getting to the point where he's starting, I think, to think about moving. And I think Eric's even to the point where he might go with him. So that's even crazier.
That is always in the back of my mind of considering of moving to the state of Indiana where Jordan resides, just because anyone knows anything about New York.
A lot closer to his brother if he does, which is weird. So it's like, I'm just throwing it out there. Your brother lives in Illinois now.
Yeah.
I'm just saying between all of our incomes, we could totally get a house.
Which even then, like just the fact that that's
Kirk's
happened.
income, we could all get a house.
But like even like how like
find a job out there.
Even how like life events have kind of like allowed for that to be more plausible. Like I mean, because I was going out there to visit my brother, it's like, you know what? Like this is the opportunity because of how close in Illinois like it is to Jordan, you know, like so it's like being able to be like let's,
you know, Aaron was gonna move to New Jersey and we're like, I will help you move
because that means Kirk. Yeah, and so it's just cool that it's like I think it's becoming more real to be like to be able to do this, to plan things like that, to meet up like that, and it was exciting to finally
to answer the Stardew Valley question.
Oh boy.
One video before it, 3 views. The Battle Royale, 688 views. 2 likes, 19 dislikes.
That's the most dislikes we've ever gotten. 19.
Only 19?
That's pretty good.
I mean, dang.
Well, the thing is, though, but then the next video carried over 59 views. So there's people that liked it enough to they're like, you know what? I'm going to watch the next one.
The next video. That's funny.
Because they weren't like, oh, but what about the Fortnite?
It's just been so crazy how inconsistent video views are too.
Yeah,
on our channel.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's the one trend that is very common, which I get, is they'll watch the first part more than the rest, and then it'll taper off after that. Fair.
Except
I get that.
On that though, something that I think happened when I did Alien Isolation. I think there was like a part after the first part that had more than the first part.
Yeah, that's how it usually is for us. It was like part 3 for you, I think, that had the most.
And I was like, that's weird because I'm used to what Kirk was saying. The first one.
Yeah. And what's also odd is just like where the viewers come from is not traditional. Really, I feel like it's a lot of different countries that.
Yeah, we have to keep buying bots. It sucks.
Just to keep our channel somewhat relevant.
Like that's the thing too, to go off of like, well, the authenticity of how this is like. This is just how it is for TFG. Is like, it's obvious that we aren't buying bots because we lose as well as we. You know what I mean? We lose as much as we gain, kind of thing. Like. It's not.
We lose much more than we gain.
Yeah, well, like it's consistent that there isn't a consistency in like growth, just growing. Like
want to have your mind blown and probably feel really bad. I think we're now at the point where we have lost more subscribers than we currently have subscribers.
Sounds about right.
Oh man,
I feel like there's a very interesting case study on the channel of True Friends Gaming. Like it would be really cool one day for someone that's like very popular or famous on the platform to just stumble upon our channel and just really think about it and like do like a documentary about us.
Like what's
because I can see that happening, honestly.
What's that, guys? There's one YouTube channel where he like goes through like what happened to this YouTuber or whatever, and
they don't have to do it for us because like, why are these people still making content?
Yeah, why haven't these guys given up?
Yeah.
These guys literally personify the definition of insanity. Like they exist. They're real. It's called True Friends Gaming.
Yeah.
We do it for fun and to be with each other.
Yeah, and the thing is when I think a lot of times when people have because there are people where like that they watch our stuff and then they get attached to us and do consistently follow us and still stay around, and those people I feel like I think that makes it more special when it's those few people, because it's like they kind of see, I guess, what the appeal is, which I assume is like just
when we find people like, you know, like freaking Ian, who just pop back out of nowhere and is like, hey, you know, he's might still be in your chat right now, but he jumps in and is just like, hey, I watched you guys when I was a kid, and you didn't let me in your Minecraft server, and it made me sad. And it's like, I was like 10 years old at the time, and now I'm 20, and we're just like, well, he's next gen hero. Yeah, it's just like he was a little baby boy, and now he's a man.
Or even someone like, okay, baby like man. Even think of someone like Inari,
Dragonfly,
who was like recently, and it was because of like from like whatever I did, he went
through puberty.
But then like him being, I'm saying like him still being around, even when it has nothing to do with like just me, even though it was like from my stuff. It's like, that's cool. That shows true support, because it's like, well, I mean, yeah, it's like just knowing
Annabelle, who follows us blindly and sometimes talks to you.
Where Annabelle has been in like almost every single one of my streams ever.
And Annabelle comes to ours a lot.
And then like,
Annabelle's great.
So like, Annabelle, where are you? What's going on?
Yeah, I know, right? Where is she? No, but even
this is like both of her worlds colliding.
Yeah, but I mean, I think she might be like working or something. But anyways, yeah, like her, like how like consistently like supportive Annabelle is, and like these people that are like the ones that are like that are truly in support are the ones that are like take their time to actually like, it's because like whenever I would stream on my channel, it's like, hey, True Friends Gaming also exists, and then they go ahead and participate in that and join True Friends Gaming, like viewing it. And so it's like, that means that we have actual supporters that are there.
Well, like, so that's the weird thing with also TFG is we get supporters and we hold them for a while, and then just one day they grow up and they're gone. Like, you know, we had it's like our first wave of friends were our True Friends Gaming now. And then like we had the Alliance of Acquaintances, like people like that. And then we had friends like Peacemaker and Bruno, and then now, you know, they're like labeled as chums in there. And those were people that first found us on there. Then we started getting people. God, we did that. We used to do that a lot. That's another inside thing.
TFG.
We've had like different errors of viewers, because it's usually when we get we'll call them dedicated viewers, or people who come in a lot that are a little bit more friendly, that speak to us a lot. They come a lot. They'll come often, and they'll chat with us.
They'll come everywhere. Oh, I thought we were doing a bit. Well, so like Beaver Monster. That's why God, that's a horrible time to mention his name. But Tiny Beaver Monster is a good example of that. Like, he popped in and he was like, you know, he grew up for the most part kind of watching us. And then I don't know where he and Will, who was always there. Will was a great example of somebody who was like an uplifting. Remember that
story?
Whole...
Yeah, I do remember Will's story.
Yeah,
that was someone who was having. We'll say a hard mental time, who found solace in some of our content and hanging out and talking with us.
It was my Fire Emblem series. Remember? It was my old like 2012 solo Fire Emblem background is just like the whole time you just hear, which is from all the encoders.
Oh, that we mentioned in the Foxtail episode. Yeah,
exactly. And he had this whole thing of like, hey, I'm depressed and all, and I. This is a thing that I watch now and it makes me happy. So he talked to Kirk about it, and I was like, oh yeah, send me his information. So I messaged him on Skype. I was, how's it going, buddy? And I think I might have the picture still where he's just like, holy S was like his response. And then I just hung out with him for a while, because it's just like this dude who's just like, this was making his day. It's like, I'm going to meet this guy. What's wrong with them? He's got to have something. No, but it's like the fact that because that was the thing we always said, True Friends Gaming is like, we make the content to hang out with our friends. We upload it so that we have it for ourselves, and it's there to hopefully help anybody that finds it if they need it.
Yeah.
And the fact that somebody found it and it helped them was like, oh my God, it's job.
Purpose.
Yeah. That's I think that's such a, because speaking on that, like the thing that I still will treasure, like that 24-hour Christmas Eve charity stream with then the Saturday morning gamers. And okay,
going back to our inability to name
small rabbit trail. It's just insane thinking that, like, because then now I'm like working with a publisher that's like has that similar branding of like a Saturday morning cartoon thing. So it's funny.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, but yeah, so that live stream, and just like even in that, like even from that group of people, like meeting people from across the pond and elsewhere, and just getting together to
that was one of the things kind of with everybody being too busy to play games. So I was like, I'll try and find people to collab with, because we had
because how did we do that? Was it through like a Reddit?
I used Reddit.
Yeah.
So we met Vivian, then we met Angel X Mikey.
Angel X Mikey.
Rest in peace, buddy. He was he was an interesting one, but he was cool to talk to. Like in terms of like making content, he was definitely a different personality than whenever you just chatted with him.
You guys talk about me being hyper.
Yeah, that guy had some energy to him. Energy I was not ready for.
Yeah, he just like. And there are actually a few other groups of people I met that I collabed with. I actually have, because it's me, a spreadsheet of all the different people. Right. But then I know,
Jordan's
and then we met.
Isn't that how we met? Like Nosen.
Eventually, yes. Yeah. And that was everybody. Kizzy. That's how I met Yanni. And then we met. Then we met the group, which was Scott Doug Gaming, the English Gamer Rich, Sir Night Owl, what's her freaking name?
Charlie?
No, before Charlie.
No, not Charlie.
Oh my goodness. I do remember.
Began with an L. It's like I keep wanting to say Laurel now, but that's not right.
Yeah, no, I think it's Laurel.
Yanni.
Laurel.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's right, Laurel. But yes.
Anyway, she actually wasn't doing wrong. Mitch the Mage, Oystabix.
Yeah.
I really like Rob. He's cool.
I always love saying that guy's name.
And beautiful. Yeah, no, not Jesse yet. Beautiful OB.
You're going in order. Oh my god.
Yeah, OB unfortunately is like, oh, look at me, I have almost 2 million subscribers on YouTube now, which is insane.
Yeah, he almost got to 2. He's wow.
He's almost at 2 million. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, YouTube became a full-time job for OB.
Speaking of, actually, that's when you mentioned that. I was going to ask Ricardo that. Would that ever be something you would like to do, Ricardo?
Ricardo, you ever want 2 million subscribers?
YouTube,
oh,
or a full-time streamer, like, would that fulfill yourself, or do you feel like you would always go back to that creative aspect?
Fulfill myself.
No.
I think
if you didn't have to worry about money.
What's interesting is that, I mean, honestly, like that's something that I in the past, like I wanted to do and tried to go about that in like different ways, because even before like the Riconius channel, like I tried to do something like that and be like, oh, this is what a YouTuber does, so let me do that, stupid skits or whatever kind of thing. And I mean, but I don't know, and even like over the years, and even with Riconius, like then trying to kind of getting burnt out from that, because it's like got into the trap of like only Kingdom Hearts stuff and that's it. Then like that, being burnt out from that, and no matter what, I always kind of like wanted to get back. Like I've always come back to trying to do some kind of content. Like,
then let me rephrase Kirk's question. What if we got to the point where TFG was like financially livable for all of us somehow?
Well,
like,
do you feel like you would still try to do art as like a career?
Oh, well, he'd do art for us. Like we'd get a whole cool setup for him.
Well, the thing is, it's like because of life and circumstances changing as they do.
This is a scenario where you get all kinds of monies.
Let me hop on to another question then. Do you see yourself ever not living in California?
Let me ask you a question. If you were in
hold up. Before hold on, let me finish the first part with the whole thing.
This is still part of that question.
No, hold on. So, I mean, because honestly, now it's come to a point where like I'm doing my, especially with like working, like making Boneyard, my series, like that has always been like the number one dream of like doing my own story, whether it was in a medium of animation or comic, and specifically doing a comic, like now, like actually doing that, I would still want to do that for sure. And then I'm now able to even have like a steady, a consistent, steady like income from like doing like art or design for like different people, like for like Spiral Dreams and for Slightly Foxtail, and like I'm doing that. I mean, if it was, I think I would still be doing that because I'd be able to, while also doing it if it was for like True Friends Gaming, if it was like financially like sustaining thing.
Because that'd be like awesome, right? Where we get to the point where it'd just be like, oh, we can actually have a full setup for Ricardo and actually let him art. Like then he would actually have a reason to art for us again and be like, oh wow, I can make all these cool thumbnails because I've got this awesome Cintiq Jordan tablet, and
well, I mean,
he'll take it away from me otherwise.
I don't know if I could ever just do the full time. I don't know if I have the personality for it.
I think I'd freak. Well, because like I always said, it, like I think I'd be happy being.
Well, then it's a different question if it's like then full time of like actually doing the content creation, like streaming and making videos. In that sense, like I think with that, I would have to juggle it with doing the art because I mean, I'm in that for like the long haul, like doing like Boneyard, doing a series that's ongoing,
And as YouTubers, Kirk, I don't mean like you don't have to be like, yo, what's up, guys? It's time.
No. I it's interesting because I feel like say we did have this super house, this True Friendistries, if you will. Yeah. This large enterprise building of us.
I keep telling everybody it's gonna be the Teen Titans headquarters, but it's gonna sit in a tree and be a tree house. That's what I keep telling everybody it's gonna be.
It's very interested to see how we would get our enjoyment from it, because I think for me personally, I would get the most job satisfaction from setting up the tech for the office and managing that and getting it ready, while recording stuff is like a part of that.
Yeah,
like Jordan,
I'll be editing and
making music, and Ricardo art.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I would be doing what I do now. Plus,
I think we all would. We'd all have our hobbies and our outlets. This is talking about like financial security.
I think it's more so of us having our own interests and still being able to add that into making a product that we all work on together.
Or if you're just one of those Twitch streamers that makes like $50K freaking a month, and you're like, you know what, I'm done with all my hobbies.
So it's funny, Ricardo.
Sorry,
Ricardo. Why do you enjoy streaming? Like, I know my answer, but
dang, dude. Oh man.
I can start with mine if you want to think about yours.
I mean, no, I think I have an answer. I think a big part is like just when I'm able to like do what I like to do anyway, which is play games or work on art stuff, or even this, like just talking, and then have some kind of like interactive component, like a live chat, like knowing that there are people actively watching, but also being able to participate with you. Like, I think I've grown to enjoy doing a live streaming even more than like putting out like individual videos, because like that the interactivity kind of will come with like comments or whatever, but like to have it immediate like this, it's like it makes it feel less lonely, I guess.
No.
The nature of what I do is such an isolating like field of work, where it's like I'm always alone, always having to do it by myself, especially like the process of like making a comic, like writing it, and then the actual like process of the art of it. All of that is just me. I don't have a team, so it's lonely. So then having like some kind of interactive element, like, oh, there's someone here who's like able to like kind of chill while I'm doing this, then that kind of helps fight that isolation, or fight like what could end up being like the product of that isolation, which is just the darkness. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess that
he wasn't supposed to talk about that.
Huh? No, what? No, that's different.
Jordan,
that's different.
Jordan, what were you gonna say? I think you were gonna mention something.
Oh, I was just gonna say with talking about the concept of like having the immediate feedback and then go. I always have such a mixed back and forth with it, because we started out as streamers, and I love whenever we have actual interaction, we can talk to people and have fun and laugh back. There's something like just a second ago when we went through all of not all of, we went through like 8 years worth of, or 5 or 6 years worth of TFG content, and we're just scrolling down and looking at everything. there's something about that with like the video creation I just love to go back through. And I love that I can go through, and that's to the point now because I like to, see all of our perspectives and stuff. I've been setting up, trying to get a method now where I can have like a switcher set up. So when I stream, I can also have your guys' videos and I can switch to those. And I'm trying to get a way to make that work on live streams.
Okay.
Yeah. I found one software, unfortunately it costs money, but I found one software that if we had that, we actually could do that in real time, but I'm not going to worry about that one.
Okay.
But I'm finding out other programs that basically what it would need. If I used the old computer and hooked it to this, I'd actually be able to make it work. Where it would be basically it's taking your footage and putting it into a small like package almost, and it's sending it to my computer, and then I would have a OBS source set to that as a like I did when I had you Discord Kirk as a browser source, and I would bring it down so then it would be like your footage there and my footage like here, and I could have it where it'd be, or I could have it on a separate layer and I could click on to go to like a different, and I'd be able to get to the different ones. But I'm starting to find out different ways that I can make that work with OBS through live streams.
Yeah, I think it's so what Ricardo was saying. I feel like that is one of the reasons why,
and that's why videos are better.
No. I was gonna say the differences between and Jordan like are really apparent and shown here because I feel like between the two of us have always been the one who's way more interested in live streaming. While Jordan was definitely more of the face of the YouTube channel. That's why when our viewer we were talking about before came in and mentioned he had a joke, or it wasn't a joke, his perception is like, oh, I always thought Preston was the leader.
Let's get it
like,
right.
No.
He thought Preston was the leader.
Thought Preston was the leader.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's because you usually always saw my face on the live streams, and that because that was the part I enjoyed the most. I'm not. Like, I tried the video editing thing for a fair amount of time. It's not for me.
The thing is, whenever you would do it, you had fun. Like, the audio editing is always the part that sucks.
Yes. And I do have fun with the video editing, but 9 times out of 10, I just much rather just do what we're doing now. Like, I equate live streaming to you're in your room with your friends and something awesome happens on the screen. Like, you're playing a game together.
Yeah,
and they're watching you play a single player game.
Yeah,
they're watching me play Kingdom Hearts 2, and something ridiculous happens that none of us have ever seen before.
And see, that's another thing I always love with the idea of us all being in the same, like actually in the same room. Because like when we were in New York with Kirk, just even stuff like playing Super Hot, and we played Mario Party together, stuff where we're all actually sitting there playing these games. And that's what I've always, whenever, that was one of the things that started with True Friends Gaming. It was usually one person was playing a single player game and the other two were adding commentary, which is why a lot of times Kevin's been the more quiet of the three of us, because our dichotomy started with Kevin played the game and Kirk and I like shot the crap back and forth and like, made like jokes at the game or whatever. And while we were playing it, and I mean, thinking back on it, that was probably when we had the most views. So maybe we should think about that for future content. Huh? Well, yeah. No. I more mean the fact of like couch co-op style single player games. I'm playing this, but I'm playing it with my friends.
Well, that's why I think me and you had so much fun with Yakuza, because you were getting to experience me play a game, and that's my favorite
and
form
Ricardo
of
playing it.
Yeah, or even when I've been streaming Yakuza 0, like it's kind of I felt like I was doing a TFG thing, even though it was just on my channel.
It did feel like a TFG thing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I enjoy multiplayer games where I get to play with my friends. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I love going through single story campaigns and like seeing story and just playing a game myself. Like, I'm selfish in that regard. But at the same time, I can't do it alone. It's the older I get, the harder it is for me to play a single player game by myself, because I get bored. Or I throw on a YouTube video and I don't really, or like a Netflix show.
I think that's been my motivation too, for like wanting to stream more consistently with games. Because like going through Yakuza 0, where it's like, you know what? Because I know, even before starting, I knew like how ridiculous it could get. I'm like, this would be fun for other people to be seen, and then like kind of like laugh at it together, kind of thing.
Well, and I was like, that was the thing with Ricardo's. Like, I want to be there. I want to watch you, like with Kirk, with both of you. I'm like, and Shar, because I had her. We watched it together. I like all my friends are like, you have to play Yakuza, but wait till I'm there.
that kind of thing. That's how I am with some
Jordan,
friends.
really.
Like when it's like they're like, hey, I'm gonna finally start Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, I want to watch. I want to see you I want to see you see the things that I see, you know.
I want definitely.
And that's the thing actually we talked about with Foxtail. Remember, because we talked about the mentality of certain viewers, where it's like there's the people that are the big fans. They love whatever you do. They don't care. Yeah. There's the people that love the games you're doing, and they want to see that game. And then there's the people that really, really, really love the game you're playing, and they have the way that they experienced it, and they're not doing it out of malice, but they're in their mind. They're like, that was the coolest thing. They have to see it.
Yeah, they have to see it the way I did.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, go back and do this, and that. And it's like, you'll see this really cool thing. And it's like, I don't want to do that. Like, you have to. And it's not, they're not trying to be mean, and they're not trying to, in their mind, they're not trying to backseat or tell you how to do it. They're like, in their mind, they're really like, I'm going to help, and they're going to love this, and it'll be awesome for everyone.
But then
everybody sees it, they're like, screw off, dick.
The thing is though, I also enjoy editing video. Like, I think when I was editing Alien Isolation, which is like the most recent thing I was editing, it's like I think it's just even the creative side of it, of like having fun with what was done, like was so. Oh my gosh!
I feel like you and I got to experience new fun with editing with the card unboxing things when you did.
Yeah, that too. Like
that, I did like all the crap I did for the freaking Dick Hole Garrett and then Dick Hole Garrett and the joke Digimon Lover.
Yeah,
and it's because it's just so over the top. And it's one of those things where it's like you're making
it's just not us.
People don't. Yeah, it is. You're right. But it's one of those things where people are seeing something. It's like. It's obviously so cheesy and crap. It was probably thrown together, but they don't realize how much work.
Yeah, how much effort you have to put in to make it look bad or make it look cheesy.
Yeah,
make it over the top.
To make it. Yeah.
Yes. So. Yeah, like I guess going off the chat with that. Yeah, like just having fun with things like that. Like if there is censorship or like.
Because I was just shoot.
Poop.
Well, or and did you see in your newest highlight? I censored that because my mind was like, I know Ricardo for his most part, his YouTube channels are family friendly, and DJ Monosoul drops a couple of F-bombs. So every time he does, I just go freak. It's just like the most. It's like it's all freaking stuff everywhere.
But even that, like now, kind of like what, I'm just use my channel the way I want to, like. Not having to be afraid of like, what, this isn't, plus it's not even me. So if it's not really even about like my own self-image. It's just like, what, I can't control people. Like let people if they're talking, especially in the podcast, we're talking.
Kirk, that means you can say those words you wanted to say.
No, not those. But yeah, so like
edit the video where you just have a bunch of censors in front of my face.
Well, that's the thing, like with these, I'm not even doing much editing. All I do for the episodes that go up on YouTube is put in the intro, put in the end card, and just like kind of. I don't really. The only thing I've edited is if there's like a break, but I don't think this episode's gonna have a break. We're just gonna keep talking.
It's just nonstop. I've done a lot of editing with Ricardo stuff though.
Yeah, but okay, so yeah, so the editing videos, I think that's also something I like doing because it's just, I guess the creative part of it, like just still using what's there and like kind of, I don't know, just playing around with it. Like even back when I was doing like some videos about like Kingdom Hearts, like putting together something that's like a fun like short mini like documentary kind of thing, stuff like that, or like again, Alien Isolation, so much fun. Like even being able to utilize things that I've learned how to do now, like with like the tracking stuff, like the Sonic the Hedgehog, Shadow the Hedgehog thing always.
And honestly, your Kingdom Hearts stuff, like thinking back on it, you kind of like, it seems like you're almost a little embarrassed by it, or maybe not embarrassed isn't the right word, but like you kind of like almost regret parts of it. But
it's more of like, I think it is a regret of more of like, well, I was writing this hype of like, I was excited for this thing. I am a fan of the thing, but then like, I regret it because then that led into just huge burnout of like, well, I just can't keep up.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say though, I think the thing that like, cause whenever I think back to that era, I know for you, it's going to be making the stuff and being like, well, I think this character is going to be Sora's mom and they're going to kiss on camera for the first time. And that was the Ricardo, what he was having, or sorry, Asby Ricardo. So he's like, it'll be great, dude. So the mom's going to come in and kiss Sora and tongue's going to go.
What?
The Ricardo. Yeah. Kirk never watched the videos, so he doesn't know what to expect.
Is this a video that happened, Ricardo?
Yeah. It's called Zimnus is Sora's mom.
Nah,
Confirmed.
it's Jordan's hyperbolic language as always.
But
It's not.
but anyway, anyway,
Send me the link later.
yeah, absolutely. I feel like the thing is though, you did still, while you were doing it, you were having fun making a lot of that, and a lot of it was coming, especially when you started it, that was coming from the heart. Like you weren't like, oh, I'm gonna make this and pander to Kingdom Hearts viewers, and I'm gonna get a bunch of Kingdom Hearts. You're like,
I am a Kingdom Hearts viewer. I am the Kingdom Hearts fan.
Exactly.
Like,
and that's the thing. So I wouldn't like think of that back on as negative. And I feel like a lot of cool stuff happened from that. Because another thing, thinking back on another set of videos I really like doing, freaking Ricardo and me playing Minecraft Kingdom Hearts.
And we had our babies in Minecraft.
We had our babies.
Jordina and the other one. Rest in
that
peace.
was also a series where I probably put a lot of work unnecessarily, because every single world I recreated the world themes.
The BGM. Yeah.
I remade all of that in MIDI form, and I had that playing in the background the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, like with that, and even from that, I even did some like live streams during that time, and from that, again, meeting like people like Inari, Annabelle, Fancy, like these people have become friends. Oh, Violet, you know, because right now I'm looking at, I see Discord, Miss Violet, like even like, oh my goodness,
yeah,
these people
like
are
Violet,
really, these people who are like really cool
funny.
people, and like that I've met that from this, and like even
I know these people.
And even like the little growth that came from that, and even being able to, one of the things that
you need to get that little growth checked out.
Like
go to a doctor.
Yeah. But like, one thing from that time that I regret is like not having a fuller idea of what I wanted to do with the big like podcast series, the discourse, and like,
dude, I even told you then I could edit that together for you, and we just never like.
I mean, because like eventually I was like, I mean, I didn't see the need.
I love the art for that, by the way.
The time had already. Thank you. Like the time that had already passed. Where I'm like, I don't think I need to revisit that. Like the time's passed. But even from that, the opportunities to speak with individuals from like the Kingdom Hearts community, or even just YouTube content creation as a whole, that like I never thought I would ever interact with. Like again, my number one favorite YouTube channel of all time, Resonant Arc.
TRUFRISC is
Okay, fine, fair.
So what was your favorite YouTube channel?
Resonant Arc.
TRUFRIENDSGAMING.
I'll try one last time, Ricardo.
Resident Arc.
This is the podcast episode of Riconius.
I'm just saying. Anyways, I'm saying like Resonant Arc, but to be able to like for the first time ever, like speak with and have a conversation with Mike from that channel, like literally, it's for me, it was like a starstruck moment, because I've been following their stuff for years, and like this was like an opportunity like that came from it, even though unfortunately it didn't like I didn't have a full idea, so it just fell apart, and I just couldn't anyways, but like even in like the things that seem like negative or like I might regret, like a lot of good came from it. So like but yeah, I don't know, but even then, even after all that, I still find myself coming back to wanting to stream. I wanted to do something like a podcast. Like
I do think like the idea of pigeonholing yourself is like a very scary, dangerous thing for content. So it's probably a good thing you broke out of that.
That was the thing I told Ricardo at the beginning, and I told Rich, because that's the way I always kind of talk about it, is you get like I differentiate subscribers and fans. Subscribers are people that went to your channel, they liked what they saw there enough to follow you. A fan is somebody who went to your channel and they liked you enough to follow you. And that's why, like, whenever Rich are getting with My Summer Cars, like, you can keep doing the My Summer Car. Make people, because your channel's growing with it, put stuff in between so that the people that want to see the real Rich can start seeing that and start turning subscribers into fans, and you'll have a community. But he freaked out and he deleted the channel. And the same thing I told Ricardo, I was like, because obviously I can't talk much from it, because we never have success with videos.
Yeah, we never had.
But I mean, even in that, like, I tried my best to
understand the formula.
Even that, I tried my best to like do something with Kingdom Hearts as a topic that might not even be just another like
Sure.
fan thing. So that's why I even did like the my favorite things I've ever done was like those videos where they're like vlogs, but kind of not scripted because it was just improv. But
the videos with Josh,
Jocelyn.
That was the best. That was the best Riconius videos, you and Josh.
And the thing is, from that is where a lot of people who really like wanted to follow because of me came from, and a lot of the receptions, like a lot of reception from that and the comments and everything, that proved that it was like, oh, y'all didn't care that it wasn't an actual Kingdom Hearts video, like you had a good time with it, like, and it was for like the jokes and everything.
Yeah, because the personality shines through, and then they start to learn the person and not the lore of the what they're there for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the other things too, like when I did the fan dub with my friend for like that animatic, the Kingdom Hearts fan thing, and then even from that, like that led to like meeting people and even reigniting like some friendships from it, because they're like, because they're like, I have friends that they're Kingdom Hearts fans, so they look up Kingdom Hearts content and they find out that I did something and they're like, what, like, and stuff like that. Anyway, but yeah, the burnout thing is a real thing.
Of course.
But I don't know, I still like doing it.
Yeah, but that was to answer Ricardo's question of or negativities with the channel, worst parts. So
no, yeah. Kirk was the one who asked me about the why I like.
No, I know, but that brought it all full circle. Except for the person who were actually interviewing Kirk didn't talk about his.
Yeah, Kirk, what the heck, dude? Why do you
worst
like
experience with the channel?
No, why do you like doing it? Why do you like doing the live streams and the wait?
I told you.
Yeah, Kirk did.
He never answered the other one either.
No, I answered the live stream one. I said for me, it's
like he just never sex.
No, I said
what?
For the answer of why I do live streams is because I enjoy. I never liked playing single player games by myself when I was growing up. I always liked having a friend over watching me play the single game, and that's what it is for me.
Yeah, so he answered it. He said that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, but he never talked about what his his worst part was. I talked about mine of the burnout and all of that stuff, and how it's like times where I'm like, should I keep doing this?
Yeah, the hardest part for the channel, like wholeheartedly, is just tenacity and to just keep the drive going after all of these years of it just not working.
That's the thing that would, in my mind, more than anything, wants me to have it succeed. Because in my mind, I'm like, if it does well, then my friends will want to play games with me again.
Oh,
as stupid as it sounds, but that's how like everything kind of roots back to it, though. It really is.
Yeah, there has to be a reason for it, and that's your reason. For me, it's just legitimately I enjoy having people watch me play games. I enjoy having friends. I enjoy having them all experience things with me.
I guess
I love the idea of having a community.
I love that. It also comes down to like even the core of it, of like just friendships, how you need to invest in friendships. It can't be a one-way street. You and the other person need to put in the effort to work to work at being friends, to make time for each other and everything. So over the years also there are seasons of life where it's like it becomes tasking on top of what else is going on. So it's like, I don't want to be on Discord today or Skype today, like I just, whatever it is. And then
the next day he has 117 messages from you. Like, are you okay? You haven't been online. Are you safe?
Well, exactly. Like stuff like that. But like but even then, even after all that, like going through those seasons of life where it's like, you just don't want to put in that effort, and you want to take a break from just, anything, like having to step away from being online or doing stuff. Even then, it's just really cool to see how even then we still come back together. We still do stuff and still enjoy each other and put the effort for each other in that way to still be friends. Even,
I mean, yeah, it's the biggest downside if you think about it. Like, this isn't our job.
Yeah, being friends is the worst part.
No.
I'm circling back to what we were talking about before, when it's just like you have to make time, because it's hard to do that sometimes when you have so many other things going on. Like 8 hours a day, 9 times out of 10, if you have a full-time job, like 8 hours of your of your weekdays is gone.
Yeah.
And it's not even just 8 hours. Like you have to think of getting
that's
ready
not
for
counting,
that thing
and that's what you guys say. Eating, sleeping.
Yeah, eating, sleeping, like showering, bathing, like it's not our full-time jobs. So
it's not even a part-time. Like we don't make any money off True Friends Gaming.
No.
Never have.
So
we always said we wouldn't.
No, not really. No, the only time we'd ever monetize TFG is if we feel like we can put the money back into TFG. That's what we've always said.
Yeah.
We've never used the money for anything else other than to put back into the channel. If
we could become ungodly rich. Oh, okay.
No. Even back in the day when you only needed like less than 1,000 subs to monetize,
whenever we were allowed to partner originally, we're like, no, we're not going to do that. That's just going to make people have to watch ads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think it's the fact that it's not a job, but because of like how much effort, emotion, and work goes into, doing whatever, then it still is tasking.
Someone argue more than most YouTubers.
Yeah, so I think it's still tasking. So it's like at times it's like, well, I don't want to, because then there's like even burnout in that, and then which is hard because it's like it's at the core of it, it's just relationships, just friendships, but then it's still like I don't want to like burn out so hard where it's like I just don't, where I wouldn't want to ever again see these people or play with these people.
Well, and that's why I try and trick people into doing other things with me. Like I'm going to make Kirk make a band with me.
Not happening. What I was going to say is what's frustrating is there's been many times where we feel like we're this close to having something happen. Because you look at the people who do make it, and you just look at them and go, why? Why them?
Yeah.
It sounds fucked up, but it's just...
Yeah, like I saw this guy is doing a big charity event. People were loving him. They were helping all. What a dick bag.
Oh. I mean more so of
I know what you mean.
I genuinely do think we have a thing to offer entertainment wise that not everyone else has. We have a specific type of comedy, and we can
I've
be
always been
entertaining.
curious if we
have strong personalities.
Because the YouTube algorithm has to like detect us as like a failure of a channel, right?
Oh, 100%.
Like there has. So I was always curious. What if I just made like a second channel and just uploaded like a video on there, but also on True Friends Gaming? Would it like all of a sudden do good, or like maybe not good, but like in comparison, would it succeed?
And like resetting the ladder for your MMR for an account, essentially, it's just like we fucked the TFG account so royally over the years.
Yeah,
just from
I've always been curious to do a test like that, but at the end of the day, I don't really care enough to do it.
Yeah, what happens if we start from scratch with the same content and see what happens from there? And that's another weakness of ours. We are horrendous at advertising because we are
terrible.
Pretty much 10 very, very low.
We're cynical. We're like, if people advertise, like, what a dick. He's just trying to.
I was gonna say low self-esteem. We're 10 people with low self-esteem.
So I feel like
we don't want to put ourselves out there. A lot of the times they're like, go out of the way. Jordan's right about the cynical thing, because we'll sometimes look down at other people like, look at this guy using all of the tools you need to succeed nowadays. How pathetic.
Well, and the thing is, because we'll be like, it's like we could go here and be like, hey, check out our stuff. But it's like, then everybody's going to look at us and be like, oh, look at these douchebags. They're going here and advertising their stuff on this forum to advertise your stuff. And it's just, that's always been, especially Kirk and me, especially have had that mentality from the beginning. Yeah.
We want to do it our way, and we don't want to do it the pandering or the like.
Yeah.
So
like
the mainstream way, or like how. Like,
but it's crucial.
What's the correct way to do it on YouTube or social media?
And it's not even like we're saying we're trying to avoid that, because that wasn't like our thought when we did it. We would just see stuff and be like, oh, that sounds really douchey. I don't want to do that. Yeah. And it wasn't us being like, let's avoid the mainstream. We would just see it and be like, ugh, I don't want to do that. I don't like the way that looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like the question in the chat though. And I had a reason to bring that up, because it actually is going to bring me back to something else that I think is good with the Kirk and my dynamic. What's your favorite game that you watched but didn't play? So when I was really young, like baby, my first games, we had Sonic the Hedgehog, we had like Sega Genesis, and I'd watch my mom play Sonic a lot. And then my dad had a PC, so I'd watch him play Warcraft. So I'd watch my dad play like War, and then I'd watch him play Duke Nukem, which I probably shouldn't have been as a kid, but I watched him play Duke Nukem. I watched Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2. I had a couple like computer games, my own Sega games, but watch that. I watched my parents both play like, God, what was that game called? Hang on, gotta get through my list.
I have a point about this too.
I was going to bring it up. So I, opposed to like Kirk, who likes to have friends go over and watch him play game, I always like to go to friends. You all right, Kirk?
Yeah, everything's fine.
You have a spider?
No.
I always like to go to friends' houses and watch them play games. And so to answer the question of what is the favorite game you ever watched but didn't play, there's a lot of games that I would watch that I didn't like playing myself, either because I was bad at them, they just weren't as fun to me, or the controls were bad. So I think my favorite game to watch, which I actually watched a few of my friends play, but I never liked playing it myself, Super Mario 64.
Oh, okay.
I always thought that was a really fun game to watch, and then I'd try and play it, and I'm like, I don't like the way this feels.
For me, it's probably Legend of Zelda games, because I don't know what it is. I don't have the patience for them. I enjoy watching them; they're cool, but I never get into them. Like, I've tried to play them with like very minimal interest.
That's a
very minimal interest.
Fair answer. Yeah.
Do you have one, Ricardo?
Yeah, it's weird because Ricardo's also kind of interviewing himself as a member of TFG.
Well, because with this question, it's like watch someone play a game. This is true. When I watch someone play a game, I typically am like, oh, I would want to play that, and I end up somehow getting the game to play that. Like
that happens to me a lot too.
So it's like,
I lost that mentality.
Favorite game that you know what? I think games that have been cinematic and I watch other people, it's not even watching other people play, but just watching the game, and then I haven't played, like games that are cinematic, like even if it's like the story mode and like the Injustice games. I never owned an Injustice game, but I've played it, but like I've never owned it myself, so I just had to watch it, like the cutscenes, or even before having a PS4 and getting the collections, I never really got to play entirely through some of the Kingdom Hearts games, but I did watch through them, like those.
Yeah, I ended up doing that with a lot of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, so like Birth by Sleep, I played through it on my cousin's PSP, but then I never had like my own full save file of like all three of the characters, whatever. So it wasn't until then, I actually not PS4. I actually had played through it. I think was it emulation?
I didn't play Birth by Sleep until it was on Game Pass, and then they took it off Game Pass after I beat it, so that was good. But yeah, I watched Birth by Sleep by Kirk playing it.
Yeah, so I think there are games like that where I was able to catch up later.
Yeah, so I'm curious, Ricardo, when you were growing up, did you watch your brother or your parents play games? Was that a thing that happened a lot?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, definitely, because I also, the first system that we ever had was the Sega Genesis. And so there were times where I would watch like my brother play through Sonic 2. I mean, we would play like multiplayer, but when it was like to actually beat the game, it was not multiplayer.
Still play as Tails and Sonic 2 on single player.
Yeah. And I did that a few times too. Anytime you left
the screen, it would fly in and you'd lose control, but then you could control them again.
So I did see some of that, and I think also with my cousins, like, so I remember I think my cousin was playing through. He was playing through Resident Evil.
I keep doing magic tricks.
I know, I see that. Whenever Ricardo answers questions, George just defaults to magic.
I see my comb there and I get bored, so I start doing just tricks and crap.
Oh, so we're boring you?
Yeah. No, I'm fidgety. That's why I used to always use this as my
get a fidget spinner.
Well, the problem is they're loud. So that's why I always had like my recorder, so I just sit there and do like this a lot while I talk.
Ricardo, did I ever tell you I had an emergency fidget spinner in my car at one point in my life?
He did.
That's understandable. I don't know where mine went.
Still.
Like a few years ago, I went to San Francisco and then I got a fidget spinner there, and on the way back home, I don't know, it just disappeared. So it sucked because it was so satisfying. Anyway, but yeah, I do remember watching people play games, like my cousin, I think through Resident Evil, or like when Halo, when the Xbox original came out, and then we would play Halo. We'd play the Halo campaign, but sometimes it'd be just like my cousin and my brother, and I was like too young, so I didn't play it. Or rather, they didn't want me to play.
Yeah.
And so I remember watching through that. So yeah, I did do that, but that was a good one.
I'm sorry, I had to do one
Kirk's.
magic trick.
I liked Kirk's.
Thank you. It's driving me crazy. I just eat. I'm trying to.
I was doing it to see if I could make Kirk stop paying attention.
Oh yeah. What about this? What about this? Oh shoot, dude!
I like Kirk's because he made a bird appear.
Yeah, but this. But mine is the Chidori, dude.
Don't make up freaking food at me.
I could do the Chidori at one point. I can only do Fireball.
I wouldn't brag about that.
The reason why I asked you was because I'm getting a very fond memory now of my childhood, which is when Jordan was mentioning watching his father play games.
You were there too.
And for me, and his mom. For me, it was watching my dad play Grand Theft Auto, because the same funny joke is like, oh, you probably shouldn't have been watching this. Was watching my dad play Grand Theft Auto, old Genesis games, Sly Cooper.
Man, were we all Genesis kids? Because
I
had Genesis, Eric had a Genesis.
Sega doing Nintendo basket.
We didn't have a Super Nintendo. We had a Super Nintendo in an arcade cabinet. My parents had this old arcade cabinet with the light guns. And it was really cool with the Super Nintendo. But it was all put away by the time I started remembering games. So my first gaming memory was a Game Boy and a Sega Genesis.
Yeah, my aunt had a Game Boy that we. Oh yeah. Anyways, continue.
But then my memory faded for games for years, and I forgot about the Genesis and the Game Boy and everything, and I just didn't have games for a while. And then I remember my neighbor getting a PS1, and I remember we got a PlayStation 2. I don't remember. I think we had a PS1 at one point, but we didn't really play it or had many games for it. I think it was only Splinter Cell really. And then we got the PS2, which was like the big one, and that's when a lot of my gaming memories come from, was the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I'm playing DOS games and Sega Genesis, and then of course N64, PS1, PS2, Xbox, the Game Boys, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP, Nintendo DS.
So my mom was a graphic designer, and she used Macintoshes, and my dad is notoriously to this day a horrible PC user. So we didn't have PC in our house, like actual, I'll say more modern day traditional web browsing and stuff.
Okay.
Until the Nintendo Wii came out.
Interesting. So
which sounds like forever ago until you look up when that was and you feel really old.
You use the Opera browser on the Wii?
Well, no. I just around that time with the Wii, because I remember jacking the phone line essentially for the internet for the networking hookup for the Wii.
Kurt, take a guess. When do you think the Nintendo Wii came out? What year?
2000.
I know.
6.
I know.
Okay, Ricardo.
2006.
Yeah, 2006. 2006.
Yeah. Okay.
It's one of those things where when I think of the Wii, because God, I don't know. In my mind, the 360 and all of those, regardless of the fact I got it in 2006, I guess, I was just like, that can't be right.
Yeah,
Like I played Halo throughout high school.
But it's because the 360, I remember
I started that in 2006.
Yeah, specifically the 360 came out like as that was the first one, because PS3 was out the next year, I think. But 360 was like the first one where it's like, oh man, HD. We even have this thing you could attach to it for HD DVDs, which died. And so I remember that. That's crazy that that's right, Wii came out like the exact same time.
Well, and the 360, because I've got the first gen 360, and it didn't even have like HDMI yet. So it's like we have HD, and it has the advanced AC cables. So it had like the
switch on
prong. Yeah,
exactly. Switch on it for HD.
The first one didn't have the switch. You had to buy a separate thing for that.
Ugh.
Did you have the friend who had like the Mad Catz like multi-video connector thing that had like plugged into the TV with one connector but broke out into multiple, like all the proprietary video connectors for all the consoles?
I did it.
It was basically the Mad Catz version of an HDMI switcher is what it was.
Yeah.
To switch between multiple consoles, and it was
I didn't have that, but
it was awful. It barely worked.
I didn't have that one, but for my PS2, because we gotten it from a friend that worked at a furniture store that we would go to all the time, and so he passed it down to us. And the connections that he had for it was like this brand called Pelican, I think. And it essentially
I have Pelican.
Yeah, it basically did that.
Yeah, I have a Pelican control.
And then, but unfortunately, I don't know, over time, either the sound card in the console or that cord just messed up. So sound didn't work, but
did you guys have Scholastic book orders growing up?
Yes, they still do. My niece and nephew get it, and it's still that crappy piece of paper that looks like it's made out of like something from like the bathrooms. You know what I'm talking about, like that paper towel.
Did you guys ever get the really shitty third-party controllers from them?
No, but Banjo's covering it. But I still have the first ever volume of manga I ever got. Like individual volume is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist #1, and it has but the Scholastic version, so it has censorship in it. And on the cover, it says Scholastic Edition, even though it's still Shonen Jump. And then it's also that's also where I got my first issue of Shonen Jump, which I don't have on the shelf because
I've got my army of how to draw Dragon Ball Z. From every year they had and it just makes you feel like when you're not.
Or how to draw SpongeBob. Oh, so good.
Oh well, SpongeBob wasn't. I mean, I guess SpongeBob kind of started getting big whenever I was in elementary, but I was like almost in middle school at that point. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things though where it was like when you're Ricardo and can draw, he might not know this pain, but the Dragon Ball Z books were always a pain because you'd look and it'd be like, draw a triangle. And you're like,
I had those too.
And it's but you could draw, but it's like triangle is like head. It's like, now draw some circles for the biceps where the arms and muscles are going to be. And it's like, okay, cool. Now put a square where the eye's going to be. And then you got Goku. And it's like the next page is like a finished DBZ character, like powering up with like keys stuff all around him. And I'm just like, I didn't make that. I have 4 triangles in a circle.
So Ricardo got Shonen Jump. Jordan got a handful of DBZ, how to draw.
I got stuff like how to draw. I got weird like fantasy novels.
Okay.
I got tell you what my game
was. I had a big one that was all of the Captain Underpants.
Of course.
That was my thing. Every time, because
I got those too.
You wanted those.
I didn't know how to get books. So for me, it was every year when we got this classic book order, I'm like, did they come out with another one yet? Like, oh my God, baby diaper underpants, or whatever it was. Like, they came out with another one. I have to get it.
The ones that kids get now, it seems like, are Pete the Cat.
I think I had Pete the Cat when I was growing up.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Really? I didn't know Pete the Cat was that old.
I feel like the name sounds really familiar.
Oh, there was another one, Flat Stanley. I remember I did like
I had Flat Stanley.
Yeah, I remember I did like a book report thingy with Flat Stanley. And
what about Amelia Bedelia?
That sounds familiar.
It sounds familiar.
They had stuff like Amelia Bedelia and the Stupid Stinky Bus. It's like,
I don't know the specifics, but that does sound familiar.
Yeah.
I remember the Animorph books growing up.
Animorphs.
Yeah. Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
I didn't read the Goosebumps.
Kirk would have been too afraid. Yeah.
You know what? There was
I was afraid to read the Animorph books too.
There was even like
the
I Spy.
With us knowing each other, I was like, oh, Kirk wouldn't have got those. What, Ricardo?
There was even like the I Spy books. And,
I thought you said that. Now I was going to say, if you didn't, I was going to mention I Spy.
Yeah, I Spy.
Absolutely.
Oh, so good.
Which were also too scary for Kirk.
No.
Some of the pages were kind of creepy, honestly. I remember.
Well, I had the Haunted Mansion one. So my favorite one was just like, Amelia Bedelia. F yeah. A bunch of, like, I don't know, it was like this weird city things, but there was this one I had, and it was this whole model city, and it had a bunch of like little toy wooden cars.
Yes,
made, like,
I remember that specific one. Yes.
Yeah, because I remember going to it, and I was always like, I want all of, like, I always remember, like, I want this in my house.
Yeah.
I want to own these.
Or like the one that's like on a beach with a sand castle, or like there was there are a lot of them.
Yeah.
But, but yeah, and then I think there were a few times where I think I got a GBA game that was like a double thing with like Pac-Man World and Mrs. Pac-Man, but GBA ports. And then another one that was like this DS game that was like it was an on-rail shooter, like a Galaga kind of thing. But man,
I wonder, Jordan, do any of your nieces and nephews have like Switches or gaming consoles yet?
Yeah, they have a Switch.
Okay.
They have a Switch and they play their dad's Xbox One and 360.
How does, because I'm just so far removed because I have no real family that I talk to that's in that age group.
Man. Okay.
No, I was just like what is like phones and like gaming consoles like that? Like how is that handled nowadays with school? Do you know? Or, like talk to them about it? Like
So at school, they all
like
have
for
tablets.
us, like even when we had Game Boys, like when I was a kid, like even lunchtime, you really didn't show it. You hid that shit from
I see what
online
you're saying.
and stuff.
Yeah. No, they don't bring their phones to school, but they have their phones. I mean, they have like a little
flip phones
Yeah,
or
but
something.
I did.
and they like I couldn't bring my Pokemon cards to
Yeah,
school.
the cards. Yep.
My X-Men classic cards, the
But
90s
I
cartoon.
did.
I remember when we got super into Beyblades at my school, and we we were like a Beyblade gang. Like teachers would run after us, like we'd like sneak them in our bags, like get them in, and like our parents knew we weren't supposed to have them in, but we still had Bey battles. But it was like Bey battles back in the day because it's not like you could bring the arena to school, so like you let them rip. But they just never went anywhere near each other. And like maybe they touched once, and it was always like a big freak out deal. It's like, oh, they touched each other.
I remember when I was in high school, we went to actually a full field trip to what eventually would be my university, my alma mater. And we went there and we went through the area where everybody, stops and just eats and stuff. And I walked through and I remember seeing this whole table. So it was like there's a back wall, which is like benches that goes like wraps all the way around on this giant wall. Mm-hmm. And there were a bunch of chairs. And I looked over the rail, like down at the first floor, down at this area with like I don't know, like 56 people. And they were having a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. And then the people are off to the side were all playing like on like Game Boys. And I was like, oh my God, college is awesome. I was like, movies lied to me about what college is like. This is awesome. This is the cool college. They're not going around partying. They're having Yu-Gi-Oh matches.
That's what cemented Jordan to going to that college all the years later. Like that one memory.
It was one where I didn't have to move away to go to that college. Because it was one of those things. I actually had a pretty good assortment. I'm going to do my massive flex here. I had a pretty good assortment of universities I could attend for free. By the way, full ride. But I was like, why would I go to the really, really nice prestigious schools when I could go to this down the road?
It makes sense, yeah.
Down the road, and they have Beyblades and Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah, they have freaking Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Why do I care if everybody here got 4.0s and they all are really successful and I can freaking play Yu-Gi-Oh? So.
That's I
didn't even play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. It was the fact that I saw older kids playing Yu-Gi-Oh that I was like, oh.
This awesome.
I stopped Yu-Gi-Oh after the first season.
I remember when just Yu-Gi-Oh in school when it was first coming out, just like the amount of times a kid went home crying because they did a bad trade or something. Yeah. And it just resulted in like teachers getting involved with something that they had no idea what was going on. It was just funny. Like Yu-Gi-Oh was big in my school, and so was Pokemon, of course. I never got into Pokemon cards though. That was like I got hand-me-downs, and I kind of kept them to myself. I never really shared them with anyone.
We would get them to collect, but not like to play because we didn't know how to play it.
I did trading card battles with my friends. We had our own league where we had like. Actually, with Yu-Gi-Oh too, where we cut out like fake stars. But the one way I did was our favorite was we made a Pokemon card thing, and I was like the fighting gym, and we had my rock badges, so my friends would have to challenge me if they wanted the rock badge, but then I'd have to challenge him if I wanted like the fire badge. So we had like our normal playing decks, and then we had our gym deck, and so it was like a cool thing we just kind of did on the like thinking back, we did a lot of weird creative stuff like that. I was like, wow, we like that's stuff that now kids would love on YouTube.
Yeah. Like I remember probably before the Yu-Gi-Oh cards came out in the US, we had a friend, it was my brother's friend, who would print out fake cards, like print out the card fronts and backs and like glue them to little pieces of cardboard, like put effort into making decks of these fake cards, and that's how we would play the game when the show just started, but the cards hadn't come out yet. And
oh yeah, that too, because there was a lot of times where you'd see cards in shows that weren't out in official deck shop.
Well, it was even before like the first set had come out, so it was just like to find some way to experience Yu-Gi-Oh,
play this game and experience it. It's really cool.
But I think it's a good time where we can wrap up. And
I'm having fun.
I know, but
was there any other questions that you had for us, by the way?
Not really. I think it went well. Just like naturally, kind of.
He asked the favorite game
through
and said we'll
everything.
get back to that later, and then he never did.
What do you mean favorite game to watch?
What's your
not
favorite
play?
game, Jordan? Halo 2. Hey, Kirk, what's your favorite game? Kingdom Hearts 2. No. What are your favorite games, guys?
No, I mean you're right. But
Favorite games of all time is Kingdom Hearts 2, Mass Effect 2
fine.
is actually.
Wait,
can
can you guys guess? Can you guys guess what my favorite game of all time is?
Your favorite game's Kingdom Hearts 2, but in more recent years, you found yourself liking Kingdom Hearts 1 a lot more. But you really like Banjo-Tooie.
You're wrong, Kirk.
Oh yeah, I've got a recording of Ricardo saying
what Jordan said, but right.
No. Here's the thing, Jordan. What I said was, I said that about Kingdom Hearts, but that's not my favorite game of all time. My favorite game of all time is still Banjo-Tooie.
I ended with Banjo-Tooie.
Yeah, but you said I really like it. But no, that is my favorite game. But
I said, and you really like Banjo-Tooie. Yeah.
Anyways, hey, well,
hi,
True Friends Gaming. I want to thank Kirk for joining, for being a guest, for
Borderlands 1.
Yeah,
we didn't even get to the part where we talk about Lord Buckethead.
I don't think that was.
Were we going to talk about that?
No. Jordan, thank you for co-hosting, and also you're also a guest too, because True Friends Gaming.
Yeah,
and
because I am True Friends Gaming.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody, or both of you, and thank everybody for watching. If you're watching live, and the episode will be up on YouTube as well. And I just want
thanks to Ricardo, who made all of our freaking actual brand assets and is a part of the channel. Ricardo's been part of this group, as you saw when he scrolled through everything, for over half a decade now. He also needs to be added into the list of people when we talk about members of TFG. It's not like, he's the guy we met last week anymore. It's that he's been here longer than a lot of YouTube channels.
6 years.
Thought of him
6
like that.
years. 6 years. What?
You know what it was? I feel like it's another thing too. We just like to not bother you just because we know you have so much other things going on a lot of the time too.
Yeah, I don't bother Kirk, and then
have
he
a lot
gets
of
mad at me
projects.
for not bothering him.
But
You can bother me, just and I'll respond. If I can't come, I can't come. That's how it is sometimes, man. Like we
Which
talked
is why
about.
I
This.
still said we should all play Command and Conquer.
But why are we playing Halo?
Can we just play more?
That's gonna go in. That's gonna take time
Back
away
4
from
Blood?
Halo, Jordan.
I want to play Back for
I
Blood
know,
with Eric.
The thing
You
with
and some of
Command
our
and
new
Conquer is
friends.
we'll be able to actually get Kyle to play games with us again.
Oh, because Kyle
Who?
can't play. Kirk.
Can he play no modern game? Let's just play Genshin with Kyle. I'll make
He
that.
can play some modern games, but I know
That
there's
is a
other ones that
modern
definitely
game.
I know he had definitely struggled whenever we did the beta for Back for Blood.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, anyways, thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Well, and we'll talk separately after this.
We're gonna end it.
I appreciate
this will go
y'all.
on forever.
Well, we're not good at ending. We talked about this. We'll just start talking again.
So let me end
So
it,
anyway,
dude.
Ricardo, how you doing?
How do you guys feel about
Okay.
life food?
Okay. Well,
I don't get the deal is.
that was it.
No, it's
that
bad
was
now.
Podconius number 3. Thank you,
He
True
said
Friends
the thing.
Gaming.
I
So
can't
go
wait
to
be on
youtube.com,
Podconius episode 69.
youtube.com/True Friends Gaming, all one word. And
That's
there's
amazing,
also the
guys.
Twitch
Okay.
channel, twitch.tv/True Friends Gaming, all one word.
That is us.
And the
No, come
we
by
don't-
our Twitch and our YouTube. We always welcome everyone with a warm welcome arms after we make sure you're not a bot.
And then I tell you to download Halo.
And then we'll tell you to download Halo and play
And
with
there's
us. No,
also
we
the-
love
of course,
interacting with our viewers.
and of course there
having
is
good
also the True Friends Gaming Discord, which
Discord.
there's a link for, on the channels and stuff, and there's
There.
ways to find it.
So
So-
Jordan's gonna put it here, and
Annotations aren't a thing anymore.
no.
Also,
you
I'm
can
not-
edit it in.
He's not
I'm
edit.
not-
No, he's not editing it. Like
I edit
whole
highlight.
episode.
A highlight.
Thank you.
Until next time,
Number 3.
everyone. Later, we're doing it again. We start talking.
See ya. All right. I'm gonna just see everybody.